Mrs. Claus, at your service.
So last time we worked together, Bex made no effort with Christmas, you may remember. I think you made up for it. You look amazing.
I told you I was going to go all out, didn't I?
You look so cute in that, Bex.
Thank you very much.
So, yes.
Love it.
Mate, if you're watching last week, it makes up for that pink fleece that Bex wore. You might be thinking why we sat down. Because we're really tired.
Yeah, we're lazy.
No, we want a bit more of a chatty show. We've still got some great offers, so don't worry. We've got some amazing offers for you. But we thought we'd have a bit more chat today, didn't we?
Yeah, actually, because it's come to that time of year, hasn't it, where you start looking back on what you've done, what you've achieved, what you might have not achieved, what you want to do next year, and so we've been looking a lot about things like that, haven't we?
Yeah. So what we're going to do over the next 3 hours, we're going to ask you some questions. We want you to be more interactive than ever. So
yes, please.
If you can send in pictures and messages, it's ygtv@yougarden.com. And should we start off with this one? What was your biggest success in your garden this year? So if there's been any particular plant that's exceeded your expectations, if there's one plant that's suddenly gone crazy this year and given you so much pleasure, we would love to see pictures and hear about it.
Absolutely, yeah. Something that you put loads of effort into and has really paid off. Or maybe it's those amazing surprise things that happened. You know, my lovely geranium roseanne and the erigeron, for example, that accidental pairing that happened in my garden that I keep talking about all the time. I know I'll stop talking about it soon, I promise. But it was an accidental success and I love it. So we'd love to hear your stories. So
even if you don't normally contribute to the chat, just send us a little email, ygtv@yougarden.com with some pictures. Or you can obviously join in with the chat on YouTube and Facebook as well. But this Christmas special is really all about you. And so we have got amazing offers, but we really want to know a bit more about your gardens, and that can help us maybe next year in terms of how we theme the shows and what kind of plants that we bring you in 2025. But as ever, we're here to answer questions and queries. Just looking there, we've got some amazing winter colour, haven't we?
Yeah, beautiful winter colour over there. That table actually is really quite stunning. Our favourite table. That gives some just glorious winter. I mean, there's some year-round stuff, but winter colour moving into spring as well.
I think when you look across, and we've got the Loropetalum, we've got the Nandina, we've got the Callicarpa. There's so much colour and variety. So quite inspirational, actually, to see what you can still have in your garden in December. But we have got a free gift for you today as well.
Yeah. We've got our Endless Spring Mix collection of bulbs here, where you're going to get 3 beautiful varieties. We've got the tulip, which is that lovely, weird and wonderful one. Doesn't necessarily look like a tulip. It's the Saxatilis. Nice shorter variety of tulip there. We've got the daffodils, which are the Caliculatus, the shorter variety. And we've also got the Muscari, but this is the Blue Moon one. Yeah. We quite like this one, don't we? Because it's got that lovely light tip on the top.
I like all of those because they kind of like twists on the classics, aren't they? It's a twist on a tulip, a twist on a daffodil narcissus, and a twist on the Muscari as well. And if you're thinking, is it too late to plant them? Well, I can tell you, I've got a couple of bags of these still
Have
to
you
plant.
still got those to plant?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
We are still dispatching, so what I would say is everything's going to be sent before Christmas, but when you've got a free moment, end of December, after you've done all of your entertaining whatever, then get those bulbs in if you possibly can. But that is your free gift today. Now, who's first in with an answer to our question?
Apparently Elaine is first in. Is that the last comment, Stu? Mine is all the plants I've bought from YouGarden.
Correct answer, Elaine.
Well done, Elaine. That's our biggest success this year, all the plants she's bought from YouGarden.
Elaine, bless you, you've been an amazing customer this year.
Yeah, we've got so many wonderful people in our little gardening community. Elaine, you're definitely one of those.
You are.
There's lots of you.
And I feel, Elaine, that we've all shared your gardening journey. You know, we've seen your successes, we've seen how your garden's coming on, and it is wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely to see.
So thank you, Elaine. So we'd like as many of you to contribute to the chat as possible.
Stu saying he liked your flame lilies, Elaine. I know a lot of people had success with those, but Elaine, yours did very well, didn't they?
Incredible, weren't they?
They were really good.
Right, so do you know what? Much as I love sitting down, Bex, I want to go over there.
Let's do it, because the colour on that table is fantastic. Now, really beautiful.
Do we start Loropetalum or Callicarpa?
Callicarpa. Yeah, let's do Callicarpa.
Do you know what? It's so nice. Bex and I have been presenting the show for nearly a year and a half now, and we do remember this last Christmas. And do you know what? Neither of us at that point had actually had one of these, and we just fell in love with it. I mean, I have never seen such a winter beauty, and the colour of those berries. I mean,
yeah, purple. I mean, purple's my colour anyway. I absolutely adore it. It's the one I really. I turn to that every single time. Got lots of purple in my garden. I've added this into my garden because I loved it so much last year. The berries at this time of year, those berries on the bare stems, is just stunning.
It's magical.
Purple is a beautiful colour anyway, but they've got a lovely sheen to them as well. They're almost pearlescent, aren't they?
They almost look like we've polished every single one of them.
I promise you we haven't.
No, we. And what is lovely is that when the Callicarpa is covered in these berries, it's always just lost its leaves, so they really stand out, don't
they really do. The leaves,
it's
in fact,
incredible.
they are beautiful. And what I will say, and I never took a picture, and I will do next year, but you get a lime green colour to the leaves, you know, in spring and in summertime. But then what I loved was the way they turned in autumn before they dropped. It was almost a salmon pink colour, and then they get replaced with these berries that the birds are going to love, by the way. The Royal Horticultural Society have given it their award of garden merit, but also that badge of perfect for pollinators. So you get the pink flowers in spring and summertime. Pollinators will be brought into your garden. The birds will feast on those berries. So we're bringing loads of wildlife into the garden.
And although you're already getting a big established Callicarpa, there's the flowers, by the way, really delightful. It arrives in the 3 litre pot. It is half price today. In fact, club members, you're going to pay just $13.49. But these can actually get really big.
They can. I mean, we're talking 6 feet. You know, probably.
So imagine that.
Imagine that full size, 6 feet high. You know, 4 feet spread, in a lovely sunny border somewhere, and covered in those berries.
And actually, if you have got a large Callicarpa in your garden,
we'd love to see that.
We would, wouldn't we?
Definitely.
And I mean, I must admit, if mine was of a really big size, I would definitely cover it with little lights at this time of year.
Absolutely.
You? Could you imagine that covered in white lights? Amazing.
Yeah, and well, Stu's just reminding me, and this is a great one. If you make your own Christmas decorations, I know you've been doing a lot of this actually, haven't you? Making all the lovely Christmas decorations in your home.
Yeah.
To add sprigs of this into that sleigh that you've done with the hellebores. If you had a few stems of this kind of poking through, that would be beautiful.
I'll be honest, Bex. I did think about it, but I just didn't have enough berries.
No, we've got to wait for ours to grow a little bit. Haven't we?
Really
but once it does, absolutely.
But it's an absolute winter beauty. It is rather special, I think you'll agree. And we both believe every single winter garden should have a Callicarpa. And as the years progress, imagine more and more clusters of those pearlescent purple berries. It is sensational.
Gorgeous.
And I mean, there's nothing really quite like this, is there?
Yeah, no, I don't think there is.
Not in terms of the colour of the berries and the pearlescence.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just a beauty. Right, we're going to move on to another firm favourite of ours.
I quite like this pairing, in actual fact.
Oh, I do.
I quite like these quite close to each other in the garden. This works really well.
Although, do you know, I'd need with that, I'd want some white hellebores as well.
Yeah. There we go. Now we're talking. Yeah, Nandina Firepower, and this looks so good all year round, but I particularly like it at this time of year. Stu and I were out filming in the nursery a couple of days ago, and we had to stop. I was like, Stu, look at the Nandina. Yeah. They stand out from a distance. Well, they're amazing.
We were together yesterday.
We were,
and I must admit, I mean, I'm used to these looking good, but right now they are just like a blaze of red.
I mean, en masse as well, because obviously we've got lots of them on the nursery floor, haven't we? En masse, they look incredible.
And I can only assume, because we did have a few really cold snaps a little while ago, didn't we? We had a few nights where it was like -4, -5. And then Nandina, when it gets really chilly, that's when it really turns this magnificent red. But the thing is, if you don't know Nandina, you're probably going to assume that that's now going to lose those leaves.
Yeah,
but it doesn't.
Absolutely not, no. It changes colour with the changing temperatures, ridiculously winter hardy, can cope with serious minus temperatures, but it can also cope with plus temperatures as well. So this isn't going to get bothered whether it's cold in the winter or hot in the summer. You get berries on this during it's about autumn time, you'll get some lovely berries on there, and you also get white flowers in spring and summertime as well, once it gets a little bit more established.
I always say with this plant, it is for every garden, because it's all soil types, it's sun or shade. It's the easiest plant to look after. And there's, I know I've told this story before, but there's a little terraced house near Stamford where I live, and it's on a main road. It's got just a little kind of tiny bit of frontage, like a little courtyard. And it's got a row of these Nandinas there, and traffic just whizzes past it all the time. So it's high in terms of pollution, gets virtually no sun. The soil looks like dreadful, and yet the Nandinas look amazing.
Yeah.
So they really are true survivors, and so beautiful.
Really, really beautiful, and just really low maintenance as well.
Have you seen the price?
I hadn't noticed.
I had noticed it now. It's a bit no.
Okay, $9.99. So it's a half-price deal right now. This is a great time to actually get hold of these if you're planning on. I quite like the idea of maybe doing a long border of them, dotted through. What were we saying the other day? We were saying hydrangeas at the back, Nandina at the front, but mixed in with some geranium roseanne.
Oh, that's amazing.
Like a whole border of that. That would look really good.
And this particular variety only grows to about 50 by 50 centimetres,
yeah,
so it is compact. It's a beauty, and I'm going to just share something with you. I've already got a few of these, but I bought another one this year, and I completely forgot about it. I remember buying it like in the height. It was like June, July. I was really busy in the garden, and it was shoved behind the greenhouse. I was storing my plants there. I completely forgot about it. It completely dried out.
Oh, no.
Lost every leaf. And I just presumed, I was like, oh my word, I've managed to kill that, and they've made it quite hard to kill. But you know what? It actually came back.
A little bit of love and attention.
Yeah, I gave it a really good drink, and it did come back.
Amazing.
But it had been so neglected. Right, don't
We need
forget.
to ask the question.
Yes.
We are wanting to know what is your biggest success of the year? Your biggest gardening success of the year this year? And we've got a lovely answer from Grimmy.
Oh, hello, Grimmy.
So Grimmy has come in saying, mine is growing the Himalayan poppy and the continued use of my garden bar.
Right, so Grimmy, first of all, congratulations.
Yeah, because they're not the easiest, are they?
They're not. Grimmy, I've managed to keep 2 alive as well, but mine haven't flowered this year. But I have managed to keep 2 alive, and they've got quite big. So I'm just hoping they flower next year.
Next year.
Grimmy, well done, because they are a little bit tricky, Himalayan poppies. They are. Grimmy, let me know any tips. Mine are in a shaded position in ericaceous compost, and they are doing well. And I have protected them from slugs as well. I put a bit of storage around. But Grimmy, if you've got any tips, because I'll be honest, I have not had massive success with those in the past.
That
We're going there, aren't we? We've had our invite.
Yep, we're coming round, Grimmy.
Yes.
We're on our way.
I mean,
the odd couple. I love that. Look at that. Got the little sign up above.
I love Grimmy's garden, don't you?
Yeah, looking good, Grimmy. Well done.
But well done, because the Himalayan poppy is a little bit tricky, but well done, because that colour of the poppy is beautiful.
If anybody would like to share what their biggest success of the year so far in their gardening calendar has been, then let us know. You can join us in the YouTube chat. You can send us any emails with supporting pictures, if you like, to ygtv@yougarden.com. Stu's keeping an eye on Facebook as well, so if you're watching on Facebook, you can let us know on there.
Now, you may be asking, what are Shaun and Bex's successes? We didn't have any. No, only joking. We've actually recorded a few shows for you to watch over Christmas and New Year.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be sharing our answers to these questions on those shows that will be available from Boxing Day onwards. Yeah,
from Boxing Day onwards, and they'll be playing out exactly when you would expect them to on the Thursdays and the Sundays. So if you want your gardening fix during them, those couple of weeks where we're not going to be here, you can still get it.
Yeah, and so we'll be sharing all of our answers to these questions on those 2 shows.
We've got some more questions coming up later in the show.
Yes, we have.
Keep watching.
Right, we're going to move on to an extraordinary winter clematis for you right now. Named after me.
Freckles?
Yeah, I'm a bit freckly. I am, a little bit.
Yeah, so Clematis Freckles, so we're really enjoying this one. I think we did this in a little pack, didn't we, recently,
we did,
where there was 3 of them. But this one is, I think, the standout one, which is why we brought this one to you on its own, because look at the flowers, first of all. Aren't they gorgeous? I love those freckles that you can see on the colour there. It's a very vigorous climber, this one. It can get to, good 2-3 metres in height. It is evergreen, and that's the important thing to tell you here, because Clematis, we know, they look a bit rubbish in the winter, don't they?
They do, and a lot of clematis you can't, not all, but some you can't actually prune back until February, so you're just left with all of that straggly, sort of like messy stems all through the winter. But this is evergreen, and it flowers in the winter time. And
for a really long time as well. So this will normally start flowering around November, and it'll keep going for you right the way through winter and into early springtime as well. So this one's a really good one because you've got the evergreen, but you've also got the winter flowering thing going on as well. Plus, it's an award winner. It's got the RHS Award of Garden Merit. We like to let you know these ones because it does mean not that it's easy necessarily, this one is easy, but just that it is, you know, garden worthy. It's well worth putting into our British gardens.
And I always think reliable.
Reliable, for sure. Because the RHS, they put these plants through their paces, don't they? They've got a strict set of criteria and it has to tick the box of that before they'll give it that award.
And actually, there are very few evergreen climbers. If you think about it, there's not many.
Certainly, I mean, I've got my Trechlaspermum jasmine,
I was thinking
but it's really slow growing.
I was thinking that could climb up with that, couldn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and you're right, it is, because we've both got that one.
And it's lovely, and I like it. But if you want something that's evergreen, flowering, but will grow quite quickly, then, yeah, this is a really good one to go for.
And it is only £5.99. Arrives to you in leaf, because it is evergreen, and as Bex has said, it is quite vigorous.
Just checking, there's roots poking out the bottom of there. I'm going to see if I can get it out. Hang on.
But I do love the idea of having a winter flowering clematis that is evergreen. I think it is so important in the winter time to still have lots of foliage, lots of things going on, because we do get a bit down, don't we? Let's be honest. The winters can be long and harsh, and I always think you need those plants in your garden that give you that lift. You know, when it's a February day and you're feeling a bit miserable, to just look outside of your kitchen window and see some beautiful climbing clematis would be adorable. Right, what else is in the chat, Bex?
George has joined us. Hello, George.
Morning, George.
Alistair is there as well. Hello to you. Stu's putting jokes in there. Oh, Grimmy started it, apparently. Why does Santa have 3 gardens?
Why does Santa have 3 gardens?
I've never heard this one, but it's good. Why does Santa have 3 gardens?
Oh, God. Come on, Shaun.
I'm going to do it.
Gardens. No idea.
So he can ho, ho, ho.
Oh, I should have got that one. Should have got that one.
Stu's is 2 snowmen are stood in a field. One says to the other, "Can you smell carrots?" It's just stupid. Oh, you're a dad. Your dad joke's coming out now. Oh, thank you very much. Good morning to you all. If you've just joined us, we do want to know what your biggest success in the garden has been this year, please. Let us know in the chat, or if you want to send us some pictures, you're more than welcome. ygtv@yougarden.com. We'll share some of ours as well. I think we're sharing some of ours in this show, aren't we, Stu?
Yeah.
But if not,
we might save them.
Well, we've recorded some for you, so there's a couple of shows you can watch. They'll be available from Boxing Day.
But we have got some amazing offers. We really have. Actually, right, I'm going to. Maybe I shouldn't share this with you. It's too late now. Start it.
Do it.
If you're not a club member,
oh,
I'm allowed to say this.
Careful.
Oh, come on! I'm just going to say, if you're not a club member,
join now.
Join now. That's all I'm going to say. You'll save more money by joining now. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah.
Yeah. We're not allowed. It's changing.
Yeah, but there's some really good news
about
the club. But you need to join now to get the most of it. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. We're allowed to say that, are we, Stu?
Oh, he's gone quiet.
Well, hang on, I'm allowed to say that, aren't I?
Oh, he's coming in.
Be in trouble.
Maybe I wasn't supposed to say that.
Oh, well.
It's been nice knowing you all. I've had a lovely year at YouGarden.
If he's not back in 2025...
You can still follow him on social media.
Shaun Ryan, presenter and plant man.
Yes, but it's been lovely. But no, join the club today.
Yes, do it today.
You'll thank Bex and I for
Absolutely.
Hang on, don't put my social media up. That means
you're on your way out.
Yeah. There you go. If I'm not here next year, that's how you find me. Right, we're going to move on to Ceanothus, another incredible evergreen plant. So, looks great. I mean, I always think, you look along this table, 5 magnificent looking plants. Bear in mind, it is December the 19th. We do sell bigger Ceanothus. Yeah. But again, if you want to garden on a budget and enjoy the journey of this growing, you can get this today at just $4.99.
Yeah, and I don't think I mean, I know it doesn't. It doesn't take too long, does it, to start getting to a decent size? And so plant it now. Honestly, I mean, most areas of the country is absolutely fine to plant out now, isn't it? I can't speak for the heights of Scotland, maybe. But yeah, as long as the ground isn't waterlogged or completely frozen, which, let's face it, it's been really mild at the moment, you can plant this out now. And once we get to springtime and that gets going, you'll see loads of growth coming.
And also, you know, all of the plants we're showing, you don't have to plant them straight away.
No, very true.
I mean, the free bulbs, get them in the ground as soon as you can. But no, you can wait till there's a nice day to get outside. But when Ceanothus, excuse me, when they flower in April, May time, they are just a blaze of blue, aren't
I love them.
They
I
are
mean, the
amazing.
colour of the Californian lilac, when you get these clusters of flowers appearing, and they do tend to absolutely cover the evergreen foliage that you've got on here. I mean, it's lovely that it's evergreen because you can look at it all year round, but those flowers do cover it, they smother the plant, and they stay on there for quite a while as well. So in April and May, for probably a good 4 to 6 weeks, loads of flowers, and pollinators adore them.
And it is weird. You never see Ceanothus with just a few flowers, do you?
No.
I don't know why, but they always
go for it.
Yeah, and as Bex said, the pollinators love them as well. But it is that beautiful blue that you get that is exquisite. Sunny spot, they love full sun, ideally, and a good well-drained soil. Sometimes you do get a few flowers in autumn as well, don't you?
Yeah, it does throw out a few in autumn, but it's that springtime display that gives the best display. The Throtophlorus repens, this is the slightly shorter variety, as long as it's planted in a nice sunny spot. If you plant it in a slightly shady spot,
it goes a bit.
It can obviously go a bit taller. But yeah, if you're trying to create a slightly lower looking, Ceanothus, then this is the one to go for. About 1.5 meters, whereas others can get to 2-3 meters in height.
It's a lovely variety.
Yeah, lovely.
My mum's got that one, and it looks fabulous.
And award-winning as well. Again, another one with the RHS Award of Garden Merit too. $4.99, brilliant.
That is good, isn't it?
Yeah, really good.
And so sometimes it's nice to buy a big established plant, but sometimes it is nice to get something on a budget and then watch it grow. Now, the next one is one that I've got in my garden, Loropetalum. I've got a few of these. And I must admit, it's the most extraordinary plant. People always notice it.
Yeah, I think, and it's because, there's two things, isn't there? There's the colour combination. You've got really dark foliage. I mean, it looks almost black, the foliage on here. But then when you combine that with these bright pink ribbons of flowers, which are quite unusual in the way that they create these ribbons, but it's the bright pink against that almost black foliage. It really stands out. And
what I love their growth habit, because they sort of meander.
Yeah.
They sort of like go up and along, and there's something kind of tranquil. I always think these look great near water features. Buddhas, they've got that lovely kind of peaceful oriental look to them. They look great next to aces as well. And unlike aces that lose all the leaves in the winter, these don't. Now, my mum's got one of these. Actually, yes, I did. So in my mum's garden, she's got, there was an area where the previous owners had a hot tub.
Right.
Now, my mum at 84 couldn't get in a hot tub. Well,
I'd like to see that. That'd be funny.
If I got her in, I wouldn't be able to get her out. But we were left with this kind of like bed of gravel that looked a bit strange. So I've created like an oriental garden for them.
Nice.
We've got just a little clip of it right now, but it gives you an idea of how really nice the Loropetalum can look. So I'm actually in my mum's garden. This is what we call her little oriental garden. I mean, the rest is really traditional over there. But I want to show you one of the most striking plants. It's called Loropetalum. It's really unusual. I absolutely love it. So it is evergreen, and the foliage is the most incredible, intense burgundy. That is so beautiful. But in springtime, this flowers. And the flowers it gets are almost like little clusters of crimson ribbons that look like fireworks. I love the fact that it's very slow growing, so it's not going to be invasive. It's got a lovely tranquility, and I think it works really well with things like acers, cordylines. I've got the Charlie Boy there. Also looks great next to water features, Buddhas, that kind of look. But it is a beautiful, beautiful plant. And I adore the way it naturally grows. So it kind of meanders. It just gently kind of trails over the edge of pots and things like that. It's quite low growing, but that colour foliage and the shape of the leaves is just spectacular. So if you order yours now, get it established for springtime, and you wait in kind of March, April, you get the most amazing flowers as well. It's known as Loropetalum. It's a lovely plant, isn't it? And you kind of see what I've done there.
I like it in the white pot as well, because as it's meandering, it really contrasts. That's really good.
Then with the pink cordyline, I think it was Charlie Boy behind it, it just looks amazing. And in terms of flowering, I find them a bit random. We normally say they flower kind of early spring, but I find that ours just throw flowers out when they feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, we sort of say between February and April it'll flower, and then it'll do it sort of September, October. But actually, you do just seem to get flowers all the time, don't you?
You really do. And even when it's not in flower, the foliage is beautiful.
Turn that around. See all the flowers on there.
Oh. Now, they are winter hardy, but the one thing I will say, and I learned this just from my own experience, I nearly lost mine in the first year because I put them in a really exposed, windy place, and you're getting too much cold wind. So a bit like an Acer, I think they like to be tucked away, a little bit sheltered.
A little bit sheltered, a little bit shady spot. I've got one that's in a perfect spot, other than the fact I've got a really big, I don't know what it is, but it's a really big plant. It's kind of overtaken it, so I need to move it.
Yeah.
But it is beautiful to create that contrast. We always talk about that dark foliage, don't we, and how important it is to have a few of those in your garden to really add that contrast. So I think, if for nothing else, that's a really good reason to go for Loropetalum.
But it is one of the most noticeable plants in a garden. And I actually remember, I don't know if you remember this, Bex, but about a year this October, Bex came to my garden club that I run, and you spoke about this plant. And do you remember?
Everyone was fascinated, weren't they?
And I mean, this is quite... My garden club, there's some really good gardeners there, but very few of them knew this plant.
I don't remember. Everybody was...
everyone
they were
wanted it.
questioning this more than anything. Yeah, because we had a few plants to give, but we gave the plants away at the end, didn't we? And everybody wanted this one.
Yeah.
We did a little raffle or something, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
And they all wanted this one. It's like, there's only one, guys. Fight it out.
Definitely go for it if you don't have it in your garden already. It's really quite unusual, quite magical, and an absolute beauty, one of my favourites. 510-604. Right, got loads of pictures coming in, Bex.
Well, yes, we have. So we're asking everybody, what is your biggest garden success of the year? The reason we're asking this is that we recorded a few shows that will be available for you to watch from Boxing Day, where we answered these questions. So you need to watch those to find out our answers.
We recorded them yesterday.
Yeah, we had loads of fun, didn't we? But we want to know what your answers to this are. So what's your biggest success in your garden this year? And Dingo has sent us a wonderful picture. What he said was, morning chaps, it's my sea of lilies purchased from YouGarden, along with loads of other plants throughout the year. He says, cheers, Dingo, but check this out. I did love this. I've got loads of lilies in my garden as well, but that is amazing, isn't it?
And I think what you've really shown there is that mass planting of lilies absolutely works, doesn't it?
I mean, the fragrance that must have been coming off those would have been incredible, wouldn't it?
I mean, what a display that is.
So pretty. Well done, Dingo.
Absolutely incredible, Dingo. Amazing. Love it.
So if you want to join in, if you want to send us any pictures, or just let us know, we don't need... I mean, it's nice to have pictures to match up, but if you just want to tell us what your biggest success is, we'd be really pleased to hear it, definitely. You can email pictures to ygtv@yougarden.com, or you can put your comments on Facebook or on YouTube.
But don't be shy today. It's wonderful to share each other's gardens and experiences.
Amanda's just sent one saying, my Christmas rose I purchased from you last year is flowering well and still loads of buds growing. And there it is.
Wow.
Beautiful. Yeah, I can see the buds just coming through there, but lovely bright white. And the great thing with those is how they age, isn't it? You get the lovely greens and pinks and the shabby chic colours to them.
God. And they're looking lovely on the nursery.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah. I bought loads of those and I've planted them up in my Christmas displays, and they look so good. I might be able to have that. Hang on, Shaun. Hell. You've titled it Hell. I quite like that you've titled the email Hell. Because it's hellebores, isn't it? Hell. Oh, I see. Yes, hell. But this
Look at this. This is what we were talking about earlier with the Christmas displays. I mean, I just think once your Callicarpa gets a bit bigger, so in a couple of years' time, I expect to see some Callicarpa.
I should have taken a recent picture of that. That was last week, and so many more flowers have come out.
It looks beautiful, though. Very festive.
I'm really pleased with it. It was an old... sledge that I bought from an antiques fair, and I've just kind of put loads of plants and hellebores and pots around it.
Looks really beautiful.
But the hellebores the Christmas rose, the hellebore is amazing. And they have on our website, by the way, if you want some. Right, so... Callicarpa, Nandina, Clematis, the Ceanothus, and Loropetalum. What a lovely start.
Lovely start. I think that's a perfect favourites table. We'll see whether it stays like this by Sunday, but I reckon we've picked a good selection here.
Yeah, and don't forget the same things apply in terms of if you spend £40 or more, you get free postage. If you spend under that, we cap the postage at $6.99, and your free gift today with every single order is the Endless Bulb collection, a lovely springtime mixture. You've got the Mascari, which is the Blue Moon, that's one with a little tip on it. You've got the Saxatilis, which is that wonderful tulip, and the Callicarpa, which are the Narcissus. So you get all of those worth the best part of £10. Right.
What should we look at next?
What do you reckon, Stu? Where do you feel like going?
I wanted to do the Helix pots. I've got the Helix pots.
Yeah, we'll do the Helix pots, because these are great. Yeah, come and join us. In fact, do you want to bring them across, Bex? Because I'm thinking the Callicarpa, the Nandina, Loropetalum.
Yeah, bring plants over. We've got loads of room over here. Then,
any of these, Bex, would look great, wouldn't they?
Let's bring all 3 of these out.
So these pots are on the most incredible deal today. They really are.
Silver.
Right, that's Callicarpa. There's the Nandina, Loropetalum. That'd look nice as well.
Right, so these pots are awesome. We're going to show you the deal in a minute, but let's show you some of the plants inside those pots. I definitely think that one in there because you've got the contrast of the colour. I
like the purple with the silver.
That's nice.
Do you think?
And Nandina,
I think that would go with the gold.
Yeah.
It's like it's meant to be this. It's like we rehearsed it.
Oh my word, we didn't, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, look at those. Yeah, that works really nicely, doesn't it?
I mean, it really does.
You could mix them up, though. I mean, would that work well in there? It could.
I don't see why not.
I don't think you'd put Loropetalum in the dark pots,
I'll be
though,
honest.
would you?
I mean, the only thing is,
definitely needs to go in the lighter pot.
The only thing I was thinking, Bex.
Yeah.
If the Loropetalum, I'm just thinking, because I put my mum's in a black pot,
right.
one of them, but I put white
stones around the top.
So if you put
that
white
would work
gravel
really nicely.
That,
yeah.
Let's get it all garden designing me. But it's up to you. But yeah, that's what I did with my mum's. I just thought she had 2, and one of them put in a black pot with white gravel.
Yeah, perfect. Just brings that contrast out, doesn't it?
But I'll be honest, Bex, I liked how we first had it, didn't you?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I think we did it right first time. But anyway, and there's no rules with gardening. Don't ever think, oh, that's not right, because to me, your garden is how you want it. We've all got different gardens, and I never abide by rules when it comes to gardening. Now, do you want to see what price we've got on these planters?
Yes, please, because you might already have some of these Helix, because remember we had some really big ones, didn't we? And we've got some smaller ones as well, so you might have already invested in some Helix. And what you can create here is a lovely family of pots, and these are on a great deal, because on the website they're, what are they,
$11.99 each, yes.
$11.99 each. You'll still get your discount if you're a club member. They're a good size as well, aren't they? They're that lovely mid-size, great for bulbs, great for plants like this as well. But look what happens when we use today's offer code.
Oh my word. Buy one, get
2 free. It's not buy one, get 1 free. It's buy one, get 2 free.
And I mean, we've done that on the little pots, like the 6, the 8, but these are the 13 inches.
Yeah.
So it works out £4 a pot, and for club members, works out £3.60.
It's a bonkers deal, honestly. Now you will get 3 of the same colour. It's not a mix and match here, so you've got to pick which colour you want, put it in your basket, enter that code YGTV5124. You get another 2 of the same colour. But it'd be great if you've got the money to spend today to take advantage and maybe get 2 or 3 colours, because you're getting such an amazing deal with the 2 free.
I'll be honest. I think the silver and the gold are quite similar, but when you get those 2 together, or those two together, you get a lot more contrast.
I agree. Yeah.
But anyway, the choice is yours. But that is amazing value, and all of our pots, I'm sure many of you know this already, but generally speaking, they've always got great drainage, and that is so important more than ever. I mean, I was driving to work this morning, and so many roads were flooded. I was stuck in traffic as well as an accident. But, but a lot of the roads were really flooded.
There was a lot of rain last night around
the
here,
nursery,
wasn't there? A lot of rain.
Yeah, don't walk to the car wearing that, Bex. But you've got great drainage. A lot of plants hate being waterlogged. You'll know that. It rots the roots. It's the biggest killer of indoor and outdoor plants. Great drainage in there. And you've got the lip as well, so it's nice and easy to carry that.
Yeah, and it's reinforced, isn't it, as well? It's got reinforcement around there too. They are really genuinely designed to last for so many years. I haven't got these ones, but I've got so many of the pots that we do at YouGarden, and they are gradually replacing all of the breakable pots that I've got.
Same here.
Because they're going to last for such a long time.
And I mean, I'm just holding that. That's how the Nandina would look.
I like that against the dark pot.
In the bronze.
I've got my Nandina is in a dark pot, and it's the central focal point of my display outside at the moment, and it looks amazing. I
tell you what, even in December, gardening is still such a great hobby to have, isn't it? It's still exciting.
Yeah.
Right, so if you just joined us, it's an extra special show, because we are going to be asking you questions throughout the 3 hours. And our first question is about your biggest success this year. So just send some pictures. Let us know what you were really, really pleased with.
Are you ready for a treat, apparently?
A treat?
Are you ready for a treat? Is it food?
Oh, it's not a quiz, is it?
Okay, so we would do it in our special Christmas shows. We have done some little quizzes, okay?
Yeah.
Now, Shaun wasn't very good at the ones that we did in them because they were words, and he's much better at the numbers. So let's have a little look. This is from the Gardener's Quiz book that we had as the free gift last week. And now what we've got to do is try and find the answer. Something times 4 times that equals 96.
I'm going to say 3 times 4 is 12 times 8. 96.
Lovely. Oh,
now, does the 8 go at the top or the bottom?
Oh, God.
Oh, it's got to go at the...
It's got to go at the top?
Not necessarily.
Is it this...
Because it could be 2 times 5 is 10 plus 3. It could be 3 at the top, because that'd be 13. Yeah, 3 at the top.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit down
yesterday,
here.
on our pre-recorded check, it was all about words, and Bex got both before me.
Yeah, I'm giving up.
So I said, hang on. What we've decided is that Bex is really good with words.
I'm words, you're numbers.
And I'm, without saying big-headed, but
you're great at the maths.
I do work out all the maths like live. You know what I say, like the pot's £4 each, 360. So I did, without saying big-headed, but I did do my maths O-level a year early, and I did A-level maths.
O-level.
But I'm rubbish. I know, that makes me old. I am old.
GCSE for me.
Yeah. But Bex is brilliant with words. Really good.
Yeah.
So we've decided if Countdown ever want like a team, we would nail it, wouldn't we?
We'd be great.
Yeah.
Countdown, if you're watching.
Yeah.
Get us on there.
So, okay.
Okay, so you've done that one now. So
it could be 5 times 2 at the top. That would be 10 plus 2 would make 13. Could be that. Could be.
something, you need to do the bottom one. So something plus something minus 8 equals 7.
So again, there's so many...
so plus 8 is 15. I won't play.
Oh, I like this one.
You like that one, don't you?
Yeah.
Just need to sit and work it out a little bit.
I'll just sit down and work that out for the next half hour. I'll hand you over to Bex.
Let's do some plans, shall we? Come on.
But that, by the way, that was in the puzzle book. Actually, I'm just thinking, Stu, would that offer code for the puzzle book still be running or not? Probably not, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Probably. So what, if you use last week's code? 5024 instead of this week's code.
That was the puzzle book one, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't get the offers on the plants, but if you're just buying compost, say, for example, you could use the... so if you want the puzzle book, then use last week's code, which was, 5024, YGTV 5024. Right, we've got now, again, more amazing offers and... Pansy Cool Wave. Have you planted Pansy
I
Cool
have,
Wave?
and I'm just kicking myself for not taking a picture this morning because I've got the Pansy Cool Wave. Yeah, they're looking so good, and I'm kicking myself. I will do it for the weekend, Stu. I'll do it for the Sunday show. I've got them planted in those lovely blue ceramic-looking pots. Oh. I've got Phoenix Canariensis in the middle, and I've got Pansy Cool Wave around the bottom. They're outside the front of the house, next to the holly bushes, holly standards, and they look amazing.
And I am, do you know, I should have taken a picture as well, but I'll be honest, it was dark.
Yeah, that's
it was. I mean, we're nearly at the shortest day of the year, aren't we?
I know.
But if you haven't planted your Pansy Cool Wave, there is time. You get, oh my word, sorry, $4.99.
Yeah, $4.99 for 10 garden-ready plants.
Oh my word.
50p each, that.
Well done.
Hey!
$4.50 for club members. It says that on the screen. 449. Now, this is a mixed palette of colours, and if you've never ever grown Pansy Cool Wave, where do we start? Because they are the most incredible flowering pansies you can imagine. We say they'll flower for 10 months of the year.
Absolutely.
10 months.
And you can get them to come back next year as well. So this, a lot of people treat them as annuals, but you don't have to at all. You can get them to come back. So you'll get these planted. Obviously, there's flowers on there. They will get growing, and they will give you flowers and flowers and flowers and a beautiful mix of colour. In the summertime, when they get a bit leggy and they just get a bit tired by then, you're just going to trim them back, put them in somewhere a little bit shady, and then bring them back out again in autumn, and they will do it all over again for you. They're fantastic in hanging baskets, but I think people will probably be using them now as, you know, fillers in pots and things like that, maybe front to borders and you know, tumbling over the edges of pots, because these have a lovely, we don't say they trail, do we? But we do say they tumble and cascade by about, I mean, they can get to 30 or 40 centimetres. They might take a little bit longer to get going just because we are in the shorter days right now, but they will still do it for you. And the displays you're going to get from these will be incredible.
And they honestly just keep flowering and flowering and flowering. What I really like about them as well is they are so winter hardy. You know, even if it's like -15, -20, they still survive the winter. And I mean, hopefully it won't be that cold, but they're so resilient. But it is the fact that they produce hundreds and hundreds of flowers. And the size of the pansy, it's a little bit smaller than some of our other varieties, but it's bigger than a viola. So really,
you were saying this morning, those are really big, aren't they?
They are for Pansy Cool Wave, yeah.
Very big.
They are.
Well, when Shaun was saying they're winter hardy, we're talking about -25, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like, they really can cope with serious minus temperatures.
I could never imagine being that cold in the UK that it would kill one of these.
No.
I mean, I think the worst winters we've had, sometimes like -12, -15.
Yeah.
But not -20, -25.
No.
So they are
That's
brilliant.
proper cold, isn't it?
And I do think it's very important to still have that winter colour. It's, I know we think about Christmas right now, but especially when it gets into January, that miserable long month where we're all fat and trying to lose weight and... Well, no, I'm talking about myself.
No, it's true.
It's true. And you know, the weather's still bad, but it's really important, I think, to look outside into your garden, to see some pots of colour, or when you're coming home from work or going to work, open your front door to see those lovely pansies that are just glorious. Yeah, I love them. And that is an amazing price, isn't it?
Yeah, really good.
It's really good.
$4.99 for a pack of 10. You can multi-order on those as well if you've got a few pots and things to fill. You can get as many of those as you like.
And I mean, if you're buying things like, I'm just thinking like the Loropetalum or the Callicarpa or the Nandina, put one of those in the centre of a pot with some pansies around it and it'll look amazing. And those, I think with the Helix planters, because the pansies cascade, they would just soften the edges beautifully.
Definitely, yeah. And it's certainly what's happened with my display that I've done. Obviously, Phoenix Canariensis in the centre.
Yes, that's one of your favourite palms.
I love it. Honestly, but it's quite spiky in its appearance, isn't it? It's quite architectural.
Yeah, it's got real sort of status.
The Pansy Cool Wave around with their softer flowering nature. It's a nice contrast with the two things. I'll take some pictures. I'll show you on Sunday.
I like your thinking there, Bex.
Yeah, it looks really good. So it's 400967 if you want to get hold of your Pansy Cool Waves. $4.99 for a pack of 10, or $4.49 if you are in the club. So really, really good prices there.
Now, something you might not know. So our nursery, the YouGarden nursery, and we've been here many, many years, in fact, a couple of decades. But this used to be. Don't get too close, by the way.
Yeah. Stay back, Stu.
I'm a year older tomorrow, but
I know, it's Shaun's birthday tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm a year older.
How old are you going to be then? 72?
Thanks, Bex.
It's all right. You should start adding years, though. Right,
why?
Genuinely. I'm going to
I don't need to add any years.
No, I'm going to do it. So how old are you? Oh, I'm 62. Because they go, oh, you look amazing. Not really.
It was my mum's birthday the other week, and I joked. I said to somebody, oh, she's 104, and this person believed it. Yeah. Oh, she looks good for 104. I was like, no, she's not. She's 84.
Honestly, I'm joking. Yeah.
My mum looks very good for 84, to be fair.
She does look amazing. And you look good for 72.
Thanks, Bex. Got a special camera for me. But this nursery used to be a heather nursery, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
And we're not open to the public, sadly. We're a commercial working nursery. But on the entrance is lots of heathers, and they look amazing, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing with ground cover. With heather, it creates amazing ground cover. They're low maintenance, they're evergreen, and they have amazing flower power. And this is actually why my mum has done this. So my mum's got, I should say my mum and my dad, but it's mum who's the gardener.
Yeah, she does organic.
She does it all. They've got quite a big front garden and a really big back garden. And of course, they're getting on a little bit. They're in their 70s. And as much as she's still very active, obviously it's become quite difficult to maintain both gardens. So what she has done is sort out the front, basically. And she has planted loads and loads of heather out there. And those are the reasons she's done it. It's evergreen. It gives loads of flower power. It's really, really low maintenance. And it creates gorgeous ground cover as well.
I am going to ask you, does she use ericaceous compost? Does she got acid soil?
Do you know what? So she said, and I must find out what it was, because I asked her this question. I was like, but you haven't got acid soil there. And she's like, so there's this thing that she was added into the ground that creates the acidity. Yeah. Excuse me. And I asked her for the name of it, and she sent it to me, but I've completely forgotten what it was. But yeah, she added this in before she planted the heather to create the acidity.
They do ideally like an acid soil. If you haven't got one, you can obviously just plant them with some ericaceous compost as well. I have grown them without that though.
Yeah, I think you can do it, but I don't think they give you as many flowers, do they? And they're probably less vigorous in their growth rate.
Now, I'm working at the maths on these. 6, not 3, you get 6 of them for £13.95. I make that about £2.33 each.
I'll take your word for it.
Might be £2.32, but that is an amazing price for these.
It is, isn't it? And it's a lucky dip, I believe, on what you're going to get here. So it is just a mixture. I mean, I'm just looking at the names we've got here. We've got Erica, Darliensis. We've got another Erica, but this one's called Margaret Ponter. Another Margaret Ponter. Typically, I've picked up the same one again. And this one's called Kaluna. So yeah, it's a bit of a lucky dip as to what you're going to get, but what we can assure you of is the fact that you will have incredibly low maintenance plants, creating fantastic ground cover. They will flower for ages as well, and the fragrance you get from heather when it's in flower is so nice, isn't it?
Oh, it's incredible. But amazing value on those as well. Right, just to let you know, so at 11 o'clock we're going to ask you another question. So if you still haven't joined in our first question, it is, what was your biggest success in your garden in 2024? So we would love you to email us at ygtv@yougarden.com. Just send us some pictures. You know, what were you really pleased with? I think every year in our garden, there's always 1 or 2 things that you just think, oh, that's done so well. It's so much better than it was last year. Or maybe you've tried a new variety of something. We would love to see some pictures. We will ask you a new question at 11 o'clock. Right, back to our numbers quiz. So, what did I say for the top row? Did I say 5 times, was it 2 times 5? That's correct, apparently.
Right, 2 times 5 plus 3 is 13, okay. Oh, apparently it's all correct so far, well done.
Okay, there's a long way to go.
I'm going for the middle next. 5 times something minus something is 29.
All right, I'll go 5 times 6 is 30, minus 1 would be 29. Could try that one, maybe.
It's a terrible guess, apparently.
Right, I'm going to go 5 times 7, 35, minus 6. Okay.
Let's see. We'll come back to that in a second.
Oh, I'm loving this. Are you playing along at home?
I hope so.
Yes. Have you already got the answer?
Can we show Neil's pictures?
Good morning, Neil, by the way.
Thank you, Neil, for sending this in. He's answered our question, best successes this year. So he says, good morning to us all. Here are 2 success stories from my garden this year. The fire and ice hosta, which grew fantastically, and of course the Caribbean lilies, which are a delight. Yeah. He also adds, wishing you all a very merry, wonderful Christmas and all of the best for the new year. Same to you, Neil. Thank you very much.
Yes, so, and to Rocky as well.
Yeah, definitely. So starting off with that beautiful Caribbean lily. We adore the way you've planted this as well. In that lovely hanging planter over the edge of the fence. So pretty. And I love your decorations around the fence there as well. It's beautiful. And that's going to come back for you again this year as well, isn't it? Which is going to be gorgeous.
Yeah, you might even get more flowers this year.
And I do love this fire and ice hosta. I mean, I love a hosta anyway. They're gorgeous foliage plants, create lovely flowers as well. But that is a pretty hosta.
Right, so Neil, I have got a question. How did you manage to keep the slugs away from that? Because there's not a single hole in that. Not
a single hole. Yeah, I think there might be copper tape on that pot.
Ah, copper tape is a good one. Neil, I mean, that is a perfect hosta, isn't it? Well done.
That's really pretty. Well done, Neil.
The foliage on that variety is amazing.
Very, very good.
I think I need that one.
Oh, Grimmy's just sent some more as well. Some pics I've taken now, including a Nandina and Osteospermum. Should it still be flowering? No.
Right, so
some of my planters ready for spring, including Caribbean lily in the blue planter. Okay, let's have a little look. So, those are the osteospermum, aren't they?
yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
they
Yeah,
are.
they're osteos.
Yeah, I mean, they shouldn't be, but, you know,
Do you
it's
know
been
what?
so mild that, I mean, you were saying that yours
Mine
are
are
still
still
going,
I've
aren't
got
they?
the purple sun, and mine are still in flower too. And I will say with osteospermums, we think of them as like just summer bedding, but they are on the sort of like slightly hardy side, so they do sometimes make it through winters. You know, some sort of like some of your summer bedding, like your busy lizards, the moment there's a touch of frost, they're gone. But no, osteospermums can make it through the winter. So yeah, well done.
Yeah, well done.
Yes.
He's sent us pictures of his planters as well, getting all planted up and ready to go. We've got Laval. Is that a Laval? No, that's not a Laval, is it?
No.
Kiki planters.
That's, yeah, we've got the Kiki D's.
Oh, look, he's got it labelled. Caribbean lily in there. I like it with the stone around there as well.
Is that a bit of Stulch as well?
I think it might be. Is that an Alstroemus? No, that is Heliopsis. Funky spinner. I think that's the Heliopsis.
That's stunning, isn't it? More Caribbean lilies, do you think?
Strolch looks like on the tops of the pots there. Looking very nice.
And very organised.
Very organised. Hang on, there's some more pictures. There's lots of pictures. Hang on. Oh, Nandina. Check out the Nandina.
I mean,
Look at all the colours.
it's definitely just the best plant, isn't it? Because we never see a bad picture of Nandina.
Never.
Never.
Absolutely never. It never looks rubbish. Love it. Well
But
done.
thank you. Keep this. So we're going to ask you a new question at 11 o'clock. So you've still got about 8 minutes to send in any pictures of your big successes in your garden this year.
Yes, please.
Don't you know, if you might be sat going, oh, I'm not sure if it's a big enough success to share.
It's always a success.
And it's all relative.
Yes.
What's a success for you? You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Maybe, and I know there's some, from running the garden club in my village, some members go like, I'm not good at gardening, and my garden doesn't look very good. And do you know what? It's a journey, and we all start somewhere, don't we? And we just love sharing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, any pictures you've got, let us know. You know, we want to see what you've been really pleased with personally this year in your garden. Now, we are going to move on to an amazing offer with our pack of hardy peonies. Not one or two, but 3 of these today. Normally £20, down to £9.99. So working out just £3.33 each. What stunners these are, aren't they?
Yeah, gorgeous.
Oh.
Lovely colours, work really nicely together because you've got the pink, you've got the red, you've got the white, which is fantastic. If you're going to plant these next to each other, they're going to blend into each other really, really well. The thing I like about peonies is that they are such a long-lived perennial. You know, you can have these in your garden for decades, can't you? Bare roots are super easy to plant out as well. They really are very simple. Just soak that bare root first, plant it, and that's all you need to do. I mean, water it, obviously. You'll start seeing growth coming through in springtime. I would like to think that you'll get flowers in the first year. We can never guarantee it. It's very much about planting for the future here, isn't it? But from sort of years 2, 3 onwards, you'll have loads of flowers on these.
I planted bare root peonies in my garden, and a few of them in the first year, I got 1 or 2 flowers. But actually, once we got to year 2, year 3, oh my word, they really, really took off. There's just a few do's and don'ts, so don't plant them too deeply.
True.
If you plant them too deeply, you just get lots of leaves. And all the planting instructions on there, but I only put mine literally a few inches down.
Yeah,
maximum.
they don't want to go too deep at all.
And they do like that sunny position.
Yeah.
And that's it. And
they're really good beginner plants, actually, but buying a bare root is the way that you get the best value. So, yeah, you have to wait a little bit longer for it to get fully established, but you get the best value for money.
Yeah. And when they flower kind of like May time, they do steal the show. And peonies, they don't flower for a huge amount of time. You know, you might get 4 or 6 weeks of flowers, but when they are in flower, they are magnificent. And I don't know about you, Bex, but when I grew up, I just thought of peonies as being pink, but there's so many different varieties.
There's lots of varieties, yeah, absolutely.
And they've become a really popular cut flower in recent years as well. Again, I don't remember them being a cut flower when I was young, but a lot of florists do use them. And they always die down in the winter, so don't worry. So that, you know, hopefully you get a few flowers in 2025. They die right down, but come back bigger and stronger every single year. And I always think with the peony, once it starts getting established, it's really exciting to see, you know, you start off with just a few stems, then the next year you've got, there's more stems, and each one of those stems has got the possibility of flowering, and then after a few years, you end up with a huge peony.
Yeah.
And as you said, they can last like decades.
Decades.
I remember my nan had one for, well, all the time she lived in a bungalow, and I remember this peony, I remember when I was like 5, and you know, she'd already had it several years, and even when I was 20, it was still there. Yeah, bigger and better than ever. Beautiful.
Love peonies, yeah, absolutely. We've also got some anemones for you as well. Anemones.
My friend calls them anemones, which is, I mean, you can call them what you want, but no.
Call them what you like. It's
Anemones.
an anemone.
No, so, I know. I can't get him to change his
whenever
pronunciation.
we're prepping and we're setting up, we call them anemones.
Yeah, whenever.
Anemones.
It's quite. You've got to get your anemones. There you go.
Those things, you know. But you are getting a collection here as well, so you are going to get 3 beautiful varieties. You're getting the Whirlwind, which is that pure white with the lovely yellow centres. You're getting the Prince Heinrich, which is that vivid pink. And you're also going to get the Queen Charlotte, which is that blush pink that you've got there as well. Now, this one's also a long-lived perennial. Actually, I quite like these two next to each other. These are great. Really long-lived perennial. You can have these for such a long time in your garden, but the best thing I think about anemones is that they are late flowering. End of summer these come in, but they keep going for you right the way through into autumn time. I mean, this year I saw anemones flowering into early November.
Yeah.
They kept going, didn't they?
And actually, I'm just thinking, if you did have these together in a border, your peonies would be the beginning, you know, sort of like springtime, May, and then you're right, they're sort of like October, or September, October. So, yeah, there's one thing sort of like dying back, the other one is coming into its
up,
glory.
yeah.
I don't have anemones in my garden, and I don't know why, because they're... I got a lot of...
I got a bit of envy this year.
I did?
Yeah.
It was a good year for them.
Especially end of October, early November, when everything was dying back and we had a really mild year. Anemones really were stealing the show at that time of year.
And there's a lovely... I always think with anemones, there's a lovely kind of natural look to them. I love the way they kind of just move gently in the breeze.
Yeah.
There's a delicate nature to an anemone, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely.
Really
Quite
pretty.
loose, you know, open habit to them. They can get nice and tall. They can get to about probably 4 feet height. But work really nicely in borders, play well with other plants.
They do love a sunny position, and actually they don't like to dry out. I do remember my mum she had some in pots, and they're a bit like a hydrangea. If they dry out, they do they do flop.
Yeah.
So they let you know when they need a drink. But normally September, October, there's enough rain.
Let you know you need a drink. Sorry. Right, Glyn's been in the chat. Apparently we've got a good answer from him. Is this on the successes for the year? Glyn says...
Good morning, by the way, Glyn.
Good morning,
and
Glyn.
everyone else that's watching YouGarden TV.
My 2024 achievement was completely clearing 5 large borders and replanting them. Ooh. Thanks to YouGarden.
Do we have any pictures?
No, he said that on YouTube.
Okay.
What did you plant? Like, I want to know what went in there. Have we got some pictures? God. Glyn, if you fancy letting us know, that would be fantastic.
It is lovely when you do a big project like that, isn't it? You know, I've got a few borders that completely need redoing now.
Oh, Olwyn, my greatest achievement is making it to Christmas with the year I've had. We love you, Olwyn. I hope 2025 is, you know, a much better year for you and for everybody. But sorry about that. And Neil was saying just copper tape. It was just copper tape he had around there.
Well,
and now I have 6 Caribbean lilies.
Yes.
Woo!
Right.
Sending lots of love to you all.
You know, sometimes Bex and I, we love working together with Stu, of course, who's through there. And we've both got very sort of like different gardens. And we grow sometimes different things, sometimes the same things, but sometimes we get a little bit envious of, you know, I'll sometimes...
Healthy competition.
Yeah, but I'll show a picture of my garden, Bex will go, oh, and then I'll look at something, Bex will go like, oh. And I do remember you bringing in your appletini apple tree in blossom.
I love it.
And it was just gorgeous.
I know, it's a fantastic plant, honestly. I mean, I stupidly didn't take the pictures. I brought it in here for a show when it was in blossom, but I didn't have any pictures.
I just remember it being the sweetest looking apple tree.
Honestly, it's even better than that picture, genuinely. The blossom on it is really quite mesmerising. Like, really pretty purpley, pinky colours. But what it creates is really small, juicy, lovely apples. And the tree itself actually remains a little, you know, decently compact as well. At full growth, it can get to probably 1.5 to 2 metres, but it's the perfect compact mini apple tree.
And we've just got an image there. That's a cherry. That's the size of the apple. So they are smaller than regular apples. You said like kind of like what, a nectarine size maybe?
Yeah, about a nectarine size.
But I like that. Do you ever pick an apple and you find, I know it sounds daft, but sometimes it is a bit
just too much.
big.
And you're eating it and you're like, okay, is this ever going to end?
And also I'm thinking packed lunches with the kids, but also just the way it visually looks in the garden.
It's a wonderful
This is cute, you know?
It's a wonderful sort of novelty, but actually it's productive, you know? And I got mine was smaller. It's about 18 months, 2 years I've had mine. Mine was much smaller than this.
I think you bought yours as a bare root, you know. Did you?
I can't remember.
No.
I remember getting it, and it was back in Idle World days.
This isn't a bare root. It's already established in a 13 centimetre pot, and you will get blossom in 2025.
Yeah.
And we can't guarantee it, but I think you should get a few apples, don't you?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a few this year. They were sweet, juicy, firm, sort of lovely apples, lovely red skin on them. I'm expecting loads next year. I'll bring it in because actually I've got mine growing in our heavy-duty pots.
Yes, remember.
Highly recommend it being in a heavy-duty pot. I'm sure we'll be bringing this back to you time and time again throughout the next year. So I will keep bringing it in and showing you the progress on it. But it's a beautiful one to have. And if you have got smaller spaces, you can. If you've just got a sunny balcony, you could grow this quite happily. If you've just got a patio area, you could grow this.
And I always say this, but I mean it hand on heart. We would love every single one of you just to grow a little bit more in terms of your fruit, your veg, because when you look at the impact, and I won't get but when you look at the impact that would make if everybody just grew a few things in their garden, because every time we go to the supermarket, most of the fruit and veg, not all of it, but a lot is in plastic containers, isn't it? A lot of it has been shipped across the country, across the world. So if you could just grow some apples and, you know, a few different vegetables, the impact, if everyone did that, would be huge. But we don't all have big gardens. That is great for any size garden. But also, I think it is the enjoyment and the journey. It's really rewarding when you buy an apple tree like this and you get your first crop of apples, and then the next year you get even more, and before you know it, you've got kilos and kilos. But it's really pretty. I just remember the blossom, Bex. I thought it was lovely.
The blossom was gorgeous, and then the fact that you do get these lovely apples growing from it as well. Anybody can have this, but yeah, particularly if you've got kids, I think they will enjoy that because it'll make them eat an apple.
Now, we are going to. We've got another question that we are going to ask you in a few minutes' time.
Yeah.
So if you have just joined us, it's a really interactive show, this one. We want to hear from you. We've got another question coming up, but let's have a quick reminder of some of the great offers we've seen today, live on our Christmas special with YouGarden. That Callicarpa, the beauty berry, stunning, stunning, stunning. So this is it's a wonderful plant. You get the lovely sort of pinky small flowers that come in summertime. You get lovely green foliage, but for me, the Callicarpa looks its best as the leaves drop. So that's a blossom, by the way. Really delicate, lovely little pink flowers with the yellow stamens. But remember, that produces these incredible berries. And in the wintertime right now, all you've got is a bare tree covered in metallic purple berries that look magnificent. This can go quite big, so we're talking, when fully mature, about 6 foot, something like that. So imagine having this in your garden right now, covered in those berries, maybe put some little twinkle lights on as well. But it is a beauty and a very unique plant. I can't think of anything else that has berries quite like this one. 510-525 for the Callicarpa Profusion Beauty Berry. Now the Nandina, this is going to go crazy today. If you've not got a Nandina Firepower, today we are giving you the best price at £9.99. So it's back down to half price. Don't forget, this is such a forgiving plant. And it's always interesting. So flowers, little white flowers, followed by the red waxy berries, foliage all year round that changes colour. So when it's really cold, and we had a little cold snap recently, it creates this amazing red foliage, but it doesn't lose its leaves. So it doesn't ever become a bare plant like an Acer. It constantly remains beautiful and ever changing. I love it, one of my absolute favourites. Pretty much all soil types, sun, shade, anything in between. One of the easiest plants to grow, but one of the most rewarding. We'll only get to about 50 by 50 centimetres, so brilliant for pots and containers as well. Now, what about a climber that is evergreen and flowers throughout the winter? Well, we've got one for you right now. Quite unusual, this one, and it's known as Clematis Evergreen Freckles. Quite vigorous, so it will grow several metres. It will hold on to its leaves, so it is evergreen, but it produces these extraordinary flowers. And we've called it Freckles because it's got a lovely kind of like freckled finish to the flowers, all these lovely speckles of crimson. £50221 at £5.99. Now, one of the most spectacular evergreen plants you can have in your garden is the Ceanothus. Now, this particular variety is a little bit more compact, going to flower, again, depending where you live, but it's normally kind of May time, and it will be absolutely covered. It is evergreen, so it's got lovely, quite small, delicate green leaves. It loves a sunny spot, and that is very important. To get the most out of this Ceanothus, then you really want a sunny spot as well. So that's the Thriciflorus, Repens, Californian Lilac, Ceanothus, 511032. And one of my favourites, a very unusual type of witch hazel, Loropetalum, known as black pearl. And it is extraordinary, this one. So the foliage is a deep burgundy bronze, magnificent, again, evergreen. But in sort of like late winter, February, March, you get these amazing ribbons of flowers, almost like fireworks. And sometimes it will just throw the flowers out randomly throughout the summer months. You sometimes get a few extra ones in autumn. But when it flowers, those crimson ribbons against the foliage look absolutely magnificent. For me, this belongs with acers. It looks great near water features. It's got a little bit of, obviously, an oriental look and feel to it, but it is really unusual. And I love the way it grows naturally. It meanders. So it's got a gentle growth habit that goes up and across at the same time. I love it, as you can probably tell. I've got a few of these myself, and my mum has. You saw that little clip earlier, 510604. And then the best performing winter pansy has got to be the Pansy Cool Wave. Wow, wow, wow. So this one is a really hard worker. It flowers 10 months of the year. The only time it stops flowering, July and August. It dies back a bit, it's exhausted, but it will still, if you want to, rather than just see it in it as a winter bedding plant, if you want to continue growing this the following year, cut it back in the end of the summer, put it somewhere a little bit more shady, out of the sun, and then in autumn time start watering and feeding, and it will all bounce back again. But it is magnificent, and again, it's a semi-trailing one, that one. Loads and loads of flowers, 40967. It is amazing breeding in the Pansy Cool Wave. Really, really is extraordinary breeding. And then don't forget, we also had the heathers for you, the 4 Seasons heathers. Lots of different varieties in here. You actually get 6. All in 9 centimetre pots. That is amazing. And these are normally nearly £40. Today, it's got one of the biggest savings on the show. I think it's the biggest, actually. You're going to save £26. And what heathers do, they just give you, again, interest all year. They look great en masse. When you look at that image there, when you see heathers all grown together, they are quite fantastic, aren't they? And you know, they do flower for a long period. You've got all of that evergreen foliage, absolutely magnificent. They do prefer an acid soil. So to get the most out of your heathers, ideally, if you've got acid soil, great. If you haven't, then just plant those in ericaceous compost. We've got some of that, of course, on the YouGarden website. And that's 511623 for the 4 Seasons heather collection. Looking good every single season. But it is that time to ask you another question. Do we know what it is?
I have no idea.
No, I don't.
Stu hasn't
Stu
told us
knows.
yet.
I like this one.
Yeah, it's a good one, actually.
It is.
Because do you know what? We always say it, don't we? You learn from mistakes.
Absolutely.
You do. You learn from things not going quite right,
Yeah,
you know? And that's the best
gardening.
way to learn something. If something's going swimmingly and perfectly, great, you know, but what are you learning?
Yeah, so true.
So we want to know, what's your biggest disappointment or a mistake that you made, and you know now how to remedy it?
And I know I've mentioned my garden club a few times. I hope you don't mind. But there's a head gardener at Burley House, which is this lovely heritage house not in Burley, but it's actually near Stamford. But the gardener, the head gardener, called Joe Whitehead, he's brilliant. He's so knowledgeable. He's a bit like our Peter. But he's going to do a talk in April about his biggest disasters.
Oh,
and he said the same thing. That's how you learn.
Yeah.
So don't be shy. Come on, let's have a bit of fun. And we've answered this same question on our Christmas special. You can watch those from Boxing Day onwards.
I think that was my favourite question, actually. It's certainly the funniest one, for sure.
And we've both killed a few things this year.
Yeah.
You know, not many. And the great thing is with YouGarden, if you ever buy a plant that's fully winter hardy, it comes with a lifetime guarantee. So do bear that in mind. But let's know about your biggest mistake or gardening disappointment.
Yes. There's no answers to that yet, obviously, but I shall be keeping an eye out for those. Pictures are welcome as well. We have shared. Shaun shared a picture, didn't you? Yeah. I shared a video, so watch those specials to find out what ours are. But yeah, if you want to send a picture or a video at all, then you're welcome to.
And let's just be honest, it was a slightly challenging summer, wasn't it? There's something coming on already.
Oh my word, so many. Oh, so many. Right. So these are all still the previous questions. So we were asking about your successes. That's fine.
Okay.
We'll wait to see what your disasters were.
Yeah, I mean, we know you are very, very good gardeners.
This is good. So George has sent a couple of pictures.
Right, so let's go back to successes. We'll finish successes.
This is a nice little success that we've got going on here.
Oh, my word.
So, lovely little planter. Lobelia around the edge. And are these dahlias in the middle?
Dahlias
They're
in
short
the middle.
dahlias, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like the
they
pom-pom
are,
ones.
Wow. That looks, I mean, that is the perfect pot, isn't it?
Love that combination. That's gorgeous. And then we've got a lovely hanging basket one here. And I think that's a sedum, isn't it?
It is.
Is it Atlantis or a different variety?
Do you know what? I would have never have thought of putting a sedum in a hanging basket.
I'm sure George sent us this picture before. I recognise it. I'm sure I've seen this one before. And we said at the time,
I'd never do that.
That's amazing.
I love that idea.
Really good.
I've just got mine in my borders, but I love that.
So that's George's. Grimmy. Oh, Grimmer, sorry. This is Nathan. Apologies, I get it all mixed up. Oh, okay. Let me go to... Beautiful.
This is great.
All of it. Beautiful. Particularly like this opening picture. Look at that.
Oh! Look at that banana.
Look at that view. Got his feet up, look, just checking out the view in his garden.
This is East Coast
Tropical Gardens, isn't it?
So many tropical plants there.
Wow, I love that border.
Just go back. That was Sambucus, wasn't it? That last
that's Sambucus.
One? That looks that's a lovely colour, isn't it?
Such a beautiful colour.
I wonder if that was the one we had on offer. Do you remember we did it for something silly? We did the Sambucas 1 week for like £3 something.
Oh, that's all of them. I'm going to go back again because
do you remember we did that bonkers deal on it?
Yeah, there was 3 of them, wasn't there?
Yeah, and then we did a single, I think, for something silly.
Love that view there. Yeah. That's amazing. I'd love to sit down at that table there.
Bring back summer.
Oh, Grimmer. Yeah. Nathan, thank you.
Thank you.
Andrew, what did well?
Is this Andrew Lawrence?
It is indeed.
He's a good gardener. He's a really good gardener.
That. What even is that?
Zoom in for
It's a rhodie, isn't it? Yeah, it's a rhododendron.
Oh, it is. Look at that. What a colour that is.
Wowzer.
See,
beautiful pink.
I was going to say, I didn't think it was that.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
Right. So, watch the Christmas special. You'll see my lavender with a little bit of a twist to the story. Okay.
Amanda says here's some more en route. So we've got lovely ones in here. Look, that is a vivid pink colour, isn't it?
Yeah. Loads of them. Great rhododendrons this year. Look at the tulips.
Wow.
Some lovely peony tulips there.
Lovely mixture there.
Oh, our Forsythia.
Forsythia, that's the one.
Wow.
Love the Forsythia.
Hang on, is that out now?
I mean, it could. No, because that's normally like February time,
because that must have been last year, early on in the year in February.
Yeah, but that looks beautiful.
You never know nowadays, do you?
Oh, more tulip displays there.
Do you know what? We've actually got bulbs coming up in a few moments' time at a clearance price. So you know, if you look at these images of bulbs and you haven't really planted many this year, it's still not too late.
That's lovely. Is that a Rip Van Winkle? Could be. Could be.
I don't know, the leaves look like a tulip on that last one.
Lovely. Oh, Pansy Cool. Is that the Cool Waves?
That looks like the Cool Wave.
Could be the Cool Waves, couldn't it? Oh, and this is the Caribbean Lily,
yes,
isn't it?
Just about to.
Oh, there's so many there. There's so many
open.
There. Right, so we've got Kevin, who says, here's just a few of our many successes. Palms, Farseas and Callicarpa. So we've got the, this looks like the Shamrops. Lovely palm there. Oh, the Callicarpa, very good.
Wow.
Is
that a Nandina spot in the background as well?
It could be, actually, couldn't it?
Looks like it, isn't it?
Definitely looks like Nandina leaves.
Oh, your favourite?
Oh, is that the spider's web?
Yeah, castor oil.
Just
about to flower. There it is, yes.
There's the flowers. They are gorgeous
flowers.
flowers, aren't they?
Bex?
No, it did, yeah.
Oh, good to say, I thought it did.
They've gone over now, but it's a small one. But they have gone over the flowers that I had on there. Oh, I like that little Zen corner. That's beautiful.
Yeah, we had some lovely ferns this year.
The end of that one. Oh my word, there's so many.
Can we just say, well done, Evan. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, well done.
Some lovely gardens.
Amanda, I hope you'll excuse me. I'm going to skip. You've sent them some more emails and we will come to them, but I just want to show lots of different ones. So I'm going to go to Ruth's next because we haven't seen any of hers. So Ruth says, can't wait to see how this cherry Stella turns out. Seems to be growing already. So she's got that one, the bare root potted up.
Well done.
Very good. Got some bedding plants in there as well. Yeah, you can see the buds, can't you? Look. On the stems there, you can see the buds forming. Yeah, I quite like that street shot.
I do. It looks like every single house is like into the gardening.
Nice.
I love it when there's a whole gardening community, don't you?
Definitely. And then just another one on Ruth's, which is my fruit trees are going in my Helix clay planters, the 40 centimetre ones. So yes, she's got those big ones with her fruit trees planted in, which is really good.
Do you know, and just getting that bit of an early start, getting your bare roots in now, you really are going to reap the rewards when it comes to spring and summer.
Oh,
but it's been lovely to see these, hasn't it?
Lovely. Amanda sent loads of pictures, bless her. Oh, they are awesome. I'm just going to go one more.
Yeah,
one more of Amanda's lot.
It's Christmas.
Lovely.
That is the biggest tulip ever.
Is that I was going to say, is that a human hand? Is that an adult hand or is that a child's hand?
That is
That's massive.
Huge tulip.
Oh, I liked these. These were
yes.
Ballerina,
wasn't it? Yeah, I got these.
They were
beautiful
colours.
I've got them in the pub garden. Yeah.
Look at those tulips. I can't wait till tulip season. I'm so excited about all the tulips coming through again.
And we've got tulips coming up, by the way. We have got bulbs in the clearance. If you're getting a bit of bulb envy right now.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, right. So,
very nice, thank you.
So, lots of successes. Don't be shy. Share some of your failures too. Come on. Because we learn from our mistakes. So if there's something that didn't work out, and as I mentioned, if you ever buy a plant from YouGarden that's got the lifetime guarantee, and you'll know if it's winter hardy basically, it comes with a lifetime guarantee. If it ever lets you down, we will replace it for free. All you pay is the postage. But yeah, do share some of your failures with us. So we've done the same. On our Christmas special, we've shared a couple of our disasters, haven't we?
We have indeed.
I had a massive disaster.
Penny's just shared one little picture, which is a beautiful little Daisy. Daisy has stolen her puzzle book. Daisy wants to do the puzzles. Let me do a puzzle, Mum.
Daisy!
I'll do one of those.
Well, you might be better than we are.
Oh, she's beautiful, Daisy.
She is.
Gorgeous. Thank you.
We're having a lovely time, so thank you so much to each and every one of you. Right, we've got some great plans. Right, you just joined us. Yes. So first of all, free postage when you spend over £40. Your free gift is the Endless Spring Mix Collection. You've got tulips, Saxatilis, you've got the Blue Moon, Muscari, and the Callicarpa Narcissus.
Narcissus, that's
it.
Yes.
20 bulbs in total.
That's it. Narcissus.
But you saw all those lovely tulips, and it makes you think, doesn't it? Oh,
I can't wait for tulips coming up.
I mean, I'm looking forward to Christmas and New Year.
Yeah.
But then I'll just be...
But then it's all about waiting for the spring bulbs, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And it's that journey, isn't it? Snowdrops, and then crocus, and then narcissus, and then tulips.
Beautiful
and I think
tulips.
we saw some lovely doubles and some different varieties in some of those pictures, but the classics are still outstanding, aren't
Yeah,
they?
and you should still have the classics, absolutely. We want to add in a few weird and wonderfuls, but classics go a long way. And the Tulip Triumph Red is an absolute classic, isn't it? You get the classic tulip shape from the Triumph bulbs. You get that lovely goblet shape. And a bright red flower is such a focal point in your garden.
It is.
And particularly in spring, when everything's been a bit dark and miserable, and all of a sudden you get this... I mean, it's like a slap in the face, isn't it? A pop of colour when you get that bright red flower coming up. They are really, really beautiful.
And we've said this before, but my mum's partially sighted, so colour is so important in her garden. When her vision was better, she used to love like pastels and delicate colours, but reds really pop out. And also, if you've got maybe a long garden and you want it to come forward a bit, if you've got like pots of red tulips at the back, it brings the whole thing forward, doesn't it?
It's true. I mean, when you're thinking about garden design, if you want to bring something forward, plant bright colours. If you want to elongate and make it seem further away, you plant the cooler colours. So if you want a focal point in a particular part of your garden, plant the Tulip Triumph Red. Yeah, absolutely.
I'd have loved to have been a garden designer.
Yeah, well, there's still time, right? Still time.
Yeah.
I know I joke you're old, but you're not that old, really.
No, there is time. And do you know what? I've got enough on with my own garden, but but I think we all have that little bit of, we all like to make our gardens look nice and try different things. And those, that those pots of red tulips are going to look amazing, aren't they?
Totally.
And I got a bit of... Bex grew so many tulips last year.
I was so pleased to make Shaun jealous.
No, but you had pots and pots of them, and they did look
spectacular. It was gorgeous. Yeah, I loved it. And I've done it again this year, so I can't wait.
And I've planted a lot of bulbs this year, and I just can't wait. So if you look, these are clearance, by the way.
Yeah.
Is it too late to plant bulbs? No.
I've still got 2 bags of bulbs to plant. My aim is to get them done, before January.
And
I've still got 2 bags.
I've just particularly tulips, because we actually recommend planting tulips November onwards.
Yeah.
So some bulbs you say, plant September, October. They're still nice and firm. They're a really good size. So get them now. Get them the clearance. $3.99. Amazing. You got £6 off, and you will reap the rewards. Now, something I've got my eye on that I meant to get last year, the fritillaria, the snakeheads.
Yeah.
I think these are really unusual.
I think they're a little bit...
Sorry, go on, Bex.
No,
go on.
They are just that little bit unusual, but the great thing about these is actually that they're going to live in a shady spot, whereas, a lot of the other bulbs were saying you need to plant them in a sunny spot. Actually, these are going to work perfectly in that more sort of woodlandy, shaded area. So if you wanted to plant these underneath shrubs, underneath trees, that's the perfect spot.
Now, do you think, I was just thinking back to those amazing tropical pictures we saw with all the
Nathan's East Tropical Garden.
Do you think they'd go well with all the palms and stuff?
Yes.
I do. Under the palms?
They do look a little bit exotic, don't they? So. They're not your classic, like the tulips and the daffodils. They're a little bit exotic.
Because I've got a Mediterranean area in my garden. I'm just wondering whether to underplant the palms with these.
I think that would look really good, yeah. I mean, they're quite versatile because you could plant them into borders. They would work great as just a feature, just in a pot all by themselves. Flowering in about April and May time. RHS have given them the Award of Garden Merit. They will come back for you year after year as well. Just, do the thing that you're supposed to do is allow the foliage to die back down. Once the stems have turned brown, the goodness has gone back into the bulb, and then they'll come back for you.
I know it's always tempting to chop those leaves off and tie it all up, but
don't do it.
Well, don't if you want them to come back the following year.
Yeah.
These are all in the clearance, though.
$3.99.
I mean, some people do just, have the bulbs for one season and then...
And at this price, you can quite happily.
I do think it's a lot nicer when you leave them in and then they start to spread and naturalise. And the house next to me, I live next door to this. It's a Voisey house, and Voisey was a very famous architect, but it's a grade 1 star. Stu should know this, you're bright, Stu. But the house has been there over 100 years, and there's literally masses of snowdrops and daffodils.
Right.
And they've been there hundreds of years, I'd say, some of the bulbs, and it's amazing. My garden's not like that as well. No. I think if you can leave them in the ground and get them to naturalise, they're going to look amazing. But a lot of us do just use bulbs for pots and things.
Yeah, definitely. And look, they are winter hardy. You can leave them in the ground. They will naturalise if you let them.
I'm thinking they'd look nice maybe with ferns, because we had some great ferns earlier on in the year, didn't we?
Yeah.
Anyway.
And because they like being in a shady spot, they'd go well together.
Yeah. Anyway, we better move on. If you'd like to go for those, they are in our clearance $3.99. What's next, Bex?
The Spring Festival Mix, which is a slightly weird name because actually one of these is more summertime. But anyway, let's go with it. It's absolutely fine. What you're going to get in here is 60 bulbs. You're going to get the Anemones. These are the ones that are slightly later flowering, though. These sort of trickle into sort of early summertime. You've got your Dutch iris in there. I adore that mix of colour. The yellow, the purple, the white. That's a really clever combination. And you've also got your Tritelia included in there as well, which is slightly early. No, I don't think I have.
No.
Much earlier flowering. That's a proper spring bulb for you. But you are getting a bag of 60 of them. They're all mixed in there together. You can plant those very, very easily. And let's face it, it's £3.99. 600 259 is your item number.
Still $9.99 in the shop, but obviously...
Oh, yeah, you need our code.
Yes.
That's how you get the best price.
So here we go. Put our code in. Remember, it's YGTV 5124. Apply the code and boom. So you're going to get that amazing spring festival mix for $3.99, and you're going to get your free bulb at the end of the spring mix as well. So even including your P&P, still an absolutely amazing price. But don't forget, if you spend over £40, you will get free delivery, and if you spend under £40, we cap the P&P at $6.99. I'd put some pots in there myself.
Yeah, definitely. Those Helix planters, maybe. Or Stu's going for some fritillaria. Why not add those in as well?
Great reviews on those as well.
We've got some really good deals. I would definitely look at some of our winter hardy, winter colour shrubs as well. Nandina, Ceanothus, the Callicarpa, the Loropetalum. Yeah, there's some really good options for you.
And I'm going to say again, join the club today. That's all I'm going to say. In the new year, there's never been a better time to join the club. And there never will be.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's what we're going to say.
Careful.
Okay? It's true. So if you're not a club member, and you'll thank us for this, in fact, you know what we should do in New Year, Stu? We should play this clip back and say, do you remember when Shaun and Bex said, join the club? You'll know why in January. So join now if you're not a member already. Right, spring tulip and crocus next. I really love this collection. I didn't buy it. I had it on my list. It was one of those.
No, it's a lovely mix here because what you've got is some the tulips, which are the shorter flowering tulips. So they're going to work great with the crocus.
And they're earlies, aren't they?
And they're early, so you should have a crossover in their flowering display as well. So you'll have the crocus, which we love as being one of the earliest flowering of the spring bulbs you'll put in. I mean, it's sort of late winter, isn't it? Sort of February into March. And then those tulips should be popping up in March as well. So really nice crossover there.
And those smaller varieties can look so cute in pots and containers and hanging baskets.
Yeah.
So again, they're in the clearance. They're down to $3.99, and it isn't too late to plant. I mean, don't leave them till the end of January, February. I mean, they might still do something, but you really want to try and get them in as soon as they arrive. Or if you've got just a bit of time between Christmas and New Year, there's always the odd. You only need to plant those in a pot. You're talking
10 minutes, if that.
You really are.
Yeah.
And then finally, we had the classic Triumph tulips. I think these go great with the King Alfred. To me, those are the classics, aren't they?
Yeah, because it is a classic daffodil that you've got here. You know, it's the taller variety. It's the bright yellow. You've got the trumpet on the front, which is what we expect from a daffodil, isn't it? Obviously, there's weird and wonderful varieties out there, but this is definitely your classic. Nice and tall, bright yellow, sunshine, cheerful, just the perfect display.
And I think sometimes simple really works. And don't get me wrong, I've got some pots of... I bought the parrot tulips, the Rip Van Winkle ones. I think you bought those, didn't you?
Yes, I did, yeah.
So we've had many really weird and wonderful varieties, but sometimes the classics they'll always work, won't they?
They will, absolutely.
Right, I'm just winning. Are all of our gardening friends out there just brilliant gardeners and have had no disasters?
Yeah, clearly. Nobody's had any disasters.
Has nobody sent in any disasters yet?
Let's have a little look.
Come on, let's have a little look. So come on, everybody. We all make mistakes with our gardens. We all have winners and losers. And we just want to know, what are your biggest mistakes or things that didn't go quite right this year? Anything come in yet, Bex?
Nothing yet.
No. We'll have to start sharing ours.
No, nothing yet. East Coast are wondering what the new benefits might be?
East Coast.
Always doing a few little guesses.
Our first live show in the new year is on the 2nd of January, so that's a Thursday, isn't it?
It is, yeah. We'll both be here.
You will be very pleased, that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, so East Coast, join us and everyone else.
Oh, no, we're not. Yeah, what are we sitting down for?
We just needed a rest.
We've got an amazing deal on some planters for you. And these are the Helix planters. So who was it who sent the picture of the bare roots? Was it Ruth?
Was it Ruth?
It was Ruth,
yes, it
wasn't
was.
it? So Ruth has got the 40 centimetre of the Helix planters, and this is the 13-inch diameter, which is just over 30 centimetres, isn't it?
Yeah. Because 12 inches is 30 centimetres.
Yeah, so it's just over.
Yeah.
So this is where you can create a lovely little family of pots if you want to. So what you need to do is choose which colour you want, put it into your basket, enter the code, and you will get another 2 of the same colour absolutely free. It's a buy one, get 2 free.
And there they are close up. So there's there is a difference between the bronze and the silver. It's quite subtle. But
it is subtle, but it's nice.
They're lovely. I always think these pots work well in any garden. You can see them in a traditional garden, a country cottage garden, but contemporary as well.
Definitely, and you just have to choose. So the details on the screen are the Helix planter with the silver stripes on there. You could go for the gold one. I like to put those next to each other so you can see the difference. Sorry, it's bronze, isn't it?
That's bronze. Black and bronze.
Or you can go for the more natural-looking one, which is the Helix planter in what we're calling the powdered clay. So they've all got those same stripe sort of designs around the edge. They've all got amazing drainage holes, 8 in each of them.
And the channels.
You've got the reinforcement. You can see those little reinforced bits around the edges there. They are obviously made of our, UV stabilised, frost-resistant plastic, so designed to last you for many years. And
they are pretty indestructible.
I would not do that if it was a terracotta or a glazed ceramic. I mean, I'd hurt my foot, they'd crack and break. I'd be in trouble.
And the pavers are slowly but surely trying to get rid of our ceramic and terracotta pots. I mean, I had quite a few terracotta pots at the pub, and so many of them got blown over in the wind and broke. Whereas these are pretty much indestructible.
Let's throw some plants inside them, shall we?
I'll tell you what, I'll just bring over...
Do you want to grab the Callicarpa, the Nandina?
Loropetalum.
So Loropetalum going in there. Because we think the Loropetalum would work the best in the sort of powdered clay colour, because obviously you've got the contrast with the dark. It just wouldn't work in the dark one. Although, what Shaun was saying is, maybe in there, but put some white pebbles around. That could work.
Really, that's what I did with my mum's.
But that works nicely, doesn't it, with the Loropetalum? Details are on the screen for the Loropetalum, by the way, at £10.99.
I love that.
Beautiful.
And then I've got here the Nandina, which is at the best price ever. It's called the Firepower. It's our most popular Nandina. That is how... We both saw these on the nursery this week, and they look absolutely amazing.
We had to stop because they look so very good. The colours we're getting on the Nandina at the moment is incredible.
And they're so healthy.
Best price ever, by the way, on the Nandina at £9.99. That's a really, really good price for that. Nicely established.
And what I would say with the Nandina... because it looks good all year round, if you've got it in a pot like this, what's really nice, you could put some bulbs in it, and then springtime you've got all the joy of the bulbs, summer bedding with it. I've taken a few nice training things, the Pansy Cool Wave, but it's a really useful plant to have in any garden, any soil type, any position basically, fully winter hardy, pretty much indestructible, that one.
Absolutely. And we're going to go with the Callicarpa in the silver one.
Yeah, I
think you could probably go with either the silver or the bronze, to be honest, for Callicarpa. But that's going to look beautiful in there. And it'll live in there for a while. A few years, absolutely. And then you could plant that out into border if you want it to get to its full potential of being 6 feet high. That'd be beautiful. So 510525 is the item number of the Callicarpa Profusion Beauty Berry.
I love that. And I would definitely put a few little white twinkle lights on that for Christmas time.
It is a beauty berry as well, isn't
lovely.
it? Love
so that's just giving you a few ideas. Now come on at home. Send us some pictures of the things that haven't gone quite right this year.
Let's have your disasters, please.
Yes.
Not disasters,
but
those
work in
learning
progress.
Moments, the learning moments.
Going to move on now. Elaine has shared one.
Has she?
Come on. Thank you, Elaine.
Email or...
Hopefully it's me.
I've killed a butterfly bush.
How? How, Elaine?
What happened? She doesn't say.
They're really hard to kill.
Ruth's saying the bulbs go back to $9.99 in the basket. Ruth, have you put the code in?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Make sure you enter the code, because they're $9.99 on the website. But how to get the $3.99 is to put the code in.
Yeah.
Maybe you've done that and we have still got a problem. Sean's going to have a little look.
Sean, is he?
No, Stu.
I'll have a look if you want, yeah. Not sure I'm any good, Bex, but I'll...
Stu's going to have a little look.
Yeah.
But make sure you put the code in, because that's how you get the discount.
Elaine, well done for killing a budlier. That takes some doing.
Yeah, that really does take some doing. So well done, and thank you for sharing.
True story, Elaine. My mum had a budlier when she first moved into a bungalow, and it was in the wrong position, and it was right by the driveway. She hated it because to try and park a car next to it was really difficult, and she was insisting that I got rid of this budlier, and I couldn't get rid of it. I was like, I can't kill a plant. So I said, look, what about if I move it over there? So I moved it over in July, the worst time. I snapped the main root, because this budlier had been there years, moved it to the side. It looked dreadful for about 2 months. Yeah. And my mum was like, you've killed that budlier, and it came back. So well done, Elaine.
Yeah, that's really impressive. You win an award for that.
You do. Well, thanks, jokes about thanks for sharing, because we all have the odd disaster.
Absolutely.
And we've had a few this year, which we will share with you on our Christmas specials, which are going out from Boxing Day onwards. Right, we're going to move on to raspberries now.
Oh. Apparently Ruth is right. When you had 3 or more of the bulbs, it does jump in price. So it might be an old promotion that's trying to take over. So he's going to get it fixed. He's going to message somebody now. Thank you, Ruth.
Yeah, so hold your horses on the bulbs if you buy more.
We'll get it sorted.
Is it when you buy more than 3 the problem kicks in, Stu?
Is it 3 or more, basically?
Okay.
If you just buy 1 or 2 packets, it'll be fine. But 3 or more, that problem kicks in. So we'll get that sorted.
Thank you for letting us know about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, what about raspberries? One of the most delicious fruits. A fruit that we love in summer fruit puddings, we love with ice cream, pouring cream, on your cereal, your muesli, with yogurts, whatever. But it is yogurts.
Yogurts. Muesli. Muesli.
That's how I pronounce it.
Muesli.
Yeah.
Don't take the mick out of his accent, Sue.
I'm Yorkshire.
Yes.
My mum and dad pronounced so many words incorrectly. I grew up, as I said the other week, I thought a handbag was a handbag. Because mum was like, where's my handbag?
Or a sandwich. Sandwich.
Yeah, cranberry sauce at Christmas was granberry sauce, according to my dad. So for years I thought it was called granberry sauce.
I thought kidney beans were real kidneys.
Oh.
I would never have the kidney beans, because Dad had put them in, can't remember what he used to make, but they'd have kidney beans in, and I'd pick all the kidney beans out because I thought it must have been chili. You're right, Stu. I used to pick all the kidney beans out because I thought they were real kidneys.
So funny, the things that we grew up with. Let's talk about raspberries though, because you can actually grow your own raspberries, and we've got 10 canes. These are amazing prices. They're normally £4 a cane, £40. We have got them at $14.99.
That saving is incredible, isn't it? Really good.
I mean, they're working at £1.50 a cane, $1.35 if you're club member, and these are ready to be planted right now. Again, just give them a good soak overnight, get them planted out. And even you can obviously dig trenches and grow them in rows, but actually you can grow these in a heavy duty pots.
Yeah, if you were to put them in the heavy duty pots, maybe 3 in there, and create like a teepee shape out of them, you could do that, and they will grow nicely in there.
I mean, I did once ask our head gardener that question, and he actually said you could actually get away with 5, but only for the first sort of few years.
Yes.
But I'd say 3. Let's go
with 3. Let's be conservative. Go with 3.
And you might have to go, but I get 10. Well, I'd do a 3, 3, and a 4. I'd go for 3 heavy-duty pots.
Yes, and we've got a pack of 3 heavy-duty pots as well at the moment, so that would be perfect for them. They just want to be in a really sunny spot. That's the important thing here. All your soft fruits, they just want to be in a really nice, sunny spot. The canes themselves are obviously winter hardy, so you don't need to give them any extra winter protection, but in order to get that amazing fruit production, do put them in the sunniest spot you can find. And
there's just a few tips. Give them a good drink when you can soak them overnight, and don't plant them too deeply. That is very important with raspberries.
Yeah.
Sunny spot. Also, raspberry canes do appreciate having a mulch around them. You want to keep as much moisture in as possible. So if you bought things like our Strulcher or our decorative barch, but that gives you an idea of how your raspberry can look. And is this in what's this planted in?
Yeah,
there you go.
Heavy duty.
Wow. So it looked like just 3 in there. So
it did look like 3, didn't it? I've never grown raspberries and I fancy giving it a go.
I do as well.
I'm not going to do it this year just because we might move house. But yeah, I do fancy giving raspberries a go.
But if they're there on, I'm just thinking if they're in heavy-duty pots, you can take them with you.
Just pick them up and go.
Yeah. But honestly, they are a lot easier than you think to grow. And if you're thinking, because I know, yes, you can plant them in rows, but you might not have the room or the space for that. So just go for heavy duty pots and they'd be brilliant. Now, something that I've got my eye on, I'm kind of really thinking next year I want more standards in my garden. And when we say standards, and many of you know this, we're talking about plants that have been specially grown or grafted to have the tall stem and then that lollipop shape on the top. I think what I love about standards is the fact that it adds height to your garden, but you can always underplant them as well, so you get that layering. So it actually, if you have standards, it just gives you a lot more options in your garden.
I think it's important in smaller gardens, isn't it? Because then you can make the most out of that space. You know, you're using the vertical space, but then you've still got that space underneath. These are beautiful.
Yeah, do you remember these flowering, Bex?
I do. I've got one of these in actual fact.
Have you got the standard?
Yeah, I've got the standards.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, this one, so it flowered amazingly, and the fragrance that you get from lilac, as we know, it is a gorgeous fragrance, really, really beautiful. And these have been grafted onto that miniature rootstock, so it does mean that these are not going to get too stupidly tall. We know that lilacs can get ridiculous in height, can't they? And not every garden can fit those in. I mean, these will get, over the years, they probably can get to a couple of metres in height, but normal lilac, we are talking 4 metres sometimes, aren't we?
We are, and more. I mean,
and more,
I remember having lilac as a child, and it was several metres high. But this particular variety is a lot more compact. It's going to have that lollipop shape. Did you get a second flourish?
I did. Yeah. It was slightly smaller, but yes, there was a second flourish of flowers. So obviously you'll get all those beautiful flowers in around, you know, sort of April, May time. Gets covered in the fragrance. You can cut some stems off if you want to bring those indoors. And then actually through the summer it did throw out a few, and then there was a slightly smaller second flush of flowers towards autumn time.
See, I've got this just as a regular shrub, and it is beautiful, but I just love that shape.
It's lovely, isn't it? I haven't taken advantage of actually underplanting it yet, but maybe I'll do something with it next year. But yeah, I loved the flowers. I like the different colours that you've got going on there as well. You've got shading, you've got different gradients of the purple colour in there. Really, really pretty. Love that one. For me, it's about that fragrance as well.
I've just got a bit of, a bit of a desire to get more standards in my garden. Sunny spot, as we mentioned, would be ideal for this. Very little pruning needed. And I know you look at this now and you go, well, yeah, it's all twigs, but it is bursting with a life. And in fact, I'm just going to do the scratch test. Look, can you see all of that green?
Yeah.
So even at the... There we go. We get our...
Well, there's loads of buds that you can see all the way up the stems, and that's where that lovely fresh growth is going to come from, and all that fragrance that you get from those flowers as well.
So don't ever think, when you're buying something at this time of year, I know somebody think, oh, it's never going to look like that, but it will do, and it will be full of flowers in 2025.
Yeah. I mean, that was first year.
Yeah.
So I only got it earlier on. Oh, it was earlier on this year. Towards the beginning of the year, and that's what it did in its first year. And obviously, it's just going to keep getting better every year. It comes with the cane attached or in there, so do bear this in mind. This is the same with a lot of the standards we bring you. It's just going to give it that little bit of extra support that it needs for the first few years while it's getting established. And once it's established, obviously the stem will get thicker, and then after that, you'll be able to take the cane out.
And that head will get bigger and fuller and look amazing. Right. Remember, we want to hear about your...
mistakes, disasters.
Yes.
Things that didn't quite go right.
Things that didn't quite work out.
East Coast Couple, Nathan. My disaster was my bank balance from buying too many plants and palms. Well, yes. We're all there with you.
Oh, dear.
But the best thing to spend your money on is plants, isn't it? That's what we say.
It is. And yet, the thing is, and this is how I justify plants. There are so many things that you buy in life that are not with you for long. I'm not being funny, but I mean, I love holidays. I love holidays, but when they're done, and you sort of say, oh my word, that holiday cost a fortune.
Yeah.
You've still got the memories, of course, but when you actually invest in plants, you're going to have them in your garden for the rest of your life, and you see them get bigger and stronger, and your garden get more magical. And I don't think you can put a price on that.
No, definitely not.
So I never feel guilty buying plants. And actually, let's be honest, with YouGarden, particularly on the live shows with our discount codes, you can get so much for so little. And actually, Stu just said, so this is $5.99. That's the price now of pretty much a big coffee, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Or a small coffee. I don't even think you get a coffee and a cake, actually, now,
No,
would you? You probably wouldn't.
No.
So, $5.99. Now, you might enjoy that coffee and cake, but when it's gone, it's gone. And what do they say, Bex? A moment on the lips?
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, well, anyway, it's not that time of year to worry about that. No. I had a massive...
That's for future me to worry about.
I had a 3-course Christmas meal last night, one of many to come. But we're not going to worry about that.
No.
But if you spend $5.99 today on this Evergreen Clematis, you'll have it for years, if not decades. And it will give you pleasure and joy for all of those winters, for many, many winters to come. And this is... a really unusual one because it is evergreen, but it flowers from November onwards and for several months in the winter. What a beautiful flower that is. It's stunning, isn't it?
Very pretty.
Yeah.
Love the markings on it. And the fact that it flowers right the way through winter, starting in around November and going right the way through to May, that's what I find absolutely incredible about this. And it's evergreen, so unlike other clematis that do look a bit shocking over the winter, this one's still going to look really good.
I must admit, I look at some of my clematis and you do think, oh, I'd love to tidy that up, but a lot of them you can't until the end of February. That is going to look great all through the winter, always evergreen. And I do like the idea of maybe having that with other, maybe deciduous climbers.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, because, you're thinking about getting a pergola sorted out.
Yeah.
So you might have, and I love wisteria, you know how much I love wisteria. You can have your wisteria growing over it in the summertime, and you have all that foliage and those lovely flowers, but then have this clematis growing over part of it as well. So then you've still got the evergreen and you've got flowers in the winter once the clematis isn't really looking its best.
But I do remember somebody asking that question, I think it was actually on QVC, because we work with QVC as well. I do remember a question coming in about what evergreen climbers can you recommend. And there's not many.
There aren't many, no.
And there's not many interesting ones. No. That one is really interesting.
Yeah.
Love it. So that's known as Freckles. Quite fast growing, so don't worry. I know it's, you might be looking and thinking, oh God, I'm going to have to wait decades for that to become a decent size. It's fairly fast growing, isn't it, this one?
Yeah, they're vigorous grower, this. So, if you've got your Trechospermum and Star Jasmine or something that we love, we adore, but is a slow growing one, but you want something to cover an area quickly, Clematis Freckles is definitely a good one to go for.
I like the look of that one. Also, what else have we shown, Bex? Ceanothus.
Yeah,
well, we mentioned it briefly, but it's one of the most stunning plants in spring. Maytime, this steals the show, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It is the focal point in your garden at that time of year. Obviously, it's evergreen, so it does look good all year round. So if you've got lots of deciduous plants, do consider adding a Ceanothus for its evergreen nature. But I do think this is about making sure that you've got something in your garden at certain points in the year that is the focal point. Ceanothus is that at sort of end of April and going into May. And the flowers last for, I'm thinking about a good 4 to 6 weeks they're on there, covering the plant.
Yeah.
It's got an AGM as well, so that Award of Garden Merit from the Royal Horticultural Society, proven performer. I do believe every garden should have a Ceanothus. I said this to you earlier in the year, didn't I?
Yeah, totally agree.
Absolutely, you need to have a Ceanothus.
You never, ever see a Ceanothus and don't stop and stare at it, do you?
True.
Because unlike, say, other plants, when it flowers, the whole plant gets covered in flowers.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever seen a Ceanothus with just 1 or 2 flowers. It's always that carpet of
You've never seen a
ivy bloom.
Ceanothus and go, that's all right.
Yeah.
Nah.
No, you don't. And this one, it loves full sunshine, so that's the only thing we would say. Really sunny spot, well-drained soil, and a lot more compact as well. So we're talking about, what, 1.5 metres or so?
Yeah, about 1.5 metres, whereas others can get to sort of 2.5, 3 metres in height. So this can be just a slightly shorter one, if that's what you're looking for. But as long as you plant it in a sunny spot, if you plant it in a more shady spot, it still has the potential to get much taller, which might be absolutely fine for you, but just bear it in mind where you're planting it. I
actually really like the evergreen foliage on the Ceanothus. I think because it's a lovely kind of pretty little leaf, and it's a really delightful shade of green. They are just gorgeous, gorgeous plants. And at $4.99, so it's relatively quick grade. I mean, I remember seeing that picture of your parents, Bex, and you've done it about 4 or 5 years. It was really well established, wasn't it?
So beautiful and smothered, you know, just absolutely smothered. And do think about the fact that this is a wildlife-friendly one, you know.
Of course.
Pollinators adore these flowers. So at that time of year, you know, bees, butterflies, you will see plenty of those hopping around on your Ceanothus.
I know my mum had one of these in a pot for years, and it did really well, but then the moment we put it in the ground, it just went absolutely crazy. It literally seemed to double in size in the season when it was like, yeah, I've been set free out of the pot and I'm in the ground. But it will work really nice in pots and, of course, in your borders as well. And that one is only $4.99 today. Don't forget, if you spend over £40 today, you will get free delivery. Our free gift is that lovely bulb collection worth the best part of £10 as well. And I'm going to say again, if you are not a club member, mark my words, there will never be a better time to join. And you can do it for £5 a day on auto renewal. Now, we've concluded that you are really amazing gardeners. Because we've had loads of pictures of your successes. And you are. I mean, we really mean that. We've had so many wonderful pictures and images from you. And we've really seen your gardening journeys with us here at YouGarden. I mean, yeah, we've been so inspired, haven't we? Now, we did ask about any of your failures, and we've not seen many at all, have we, Bex?
Not many at all, but Amanda's just sent us an email saying...
Go on, Amanda.
Oh, Amanda, a lot of my plants got eaten by the slugs and snails, especially my Queen Victoria flowers.
The Speciosa, yeah.
And some, now I've...
Those are a bit prone to slugs and snails.
Oh, and now killed 2 Queen Elizabeth's rose shrubs. I'll be looking at getting another from you in the new year. No pictures, no pictures, but she's just letting us know her garden disasters for the year.
It was a difficult year in terms of slugs and snails because it was so wet, and slugs and snails, they thrive on those moist soils. And it was a problem for many. I mean, I remember making the news, don't you? So what I would say is, do bear that in mind for 2025. Strulch is an incredible product that we have that is a slug deterrent. It doesn't kill the slugs, because obviously we need the slugs and snails in our gardens for the biodiversity, but it is a great slug deterrent.
Really good.
So things like the Lobelia Speciosa, the Queen Victoria, and I'm completely with you on that one. Slugs love it when it's a young plant. So if you do decide to go for that again, just put some Strulch around that individual plant. And the slugs, basically, the moment they touch the Strulch, they just move away. They just don't like the texture of it.
Absolutely, and we do actually have a great deal going on with the roses at the moment, and I'm pretty sure the Queen Elizabeth rose is
in buy one get one
as well. It's in our Christmas
mix and match,
shows.
yeah.
So, Amanda, if you are looking, have a little look at our Christmas shows that are available to watch from Boxing Day. We recorded them yesterday because obviously we are going to have a little break over Christmas. And we recorded them yesterday. So have a little look because Queen Elizabeth is in there and we've got a great deal on the bare root roses.
Bill's just joined us in the chat.
Oh, hello, Bill. Bill's
Morning,
apologised
Bill.
for being late. Bless him. Oh, and Elaine, yes, I did see this question. So, question, how do you get the round shape at the top of the standard roses? And it's probably the same with all sort of standards, to be honest with you, getting that lovely sort of ball of colour up at the top. It's about pruning, essentially. But even when pruning, to be perfectly honest with you, because I've got those standard roses, you don't get a perfect round ball shape, do you? Because you get an occasional shoot coming out here and out there. But it is just about pruning it sort of evenly.
Yeah, and it depends. It does depend which standard you've got, because they're all slightly different. But I always think with the roses, it's little and often.
Yeah, and don't prune. So if you've just got the standard roses, try not to prune too much in the first couple of years. I made that mistake. One of them did not survive because I just overdid it in the first couple of years. Too keen. But yeah, don't prune too much in the first couple of years. And then after that, it is just about... and also stand back.
Yes.
Because sometimes when you're in it
I totally
and you're
agree.
doing it and you don't realise how far you're going, stand back, look at it from all angles and just try and get a nice even sort of prune, and then hopefully that'll promote even growth.
And I'd say with the standard roses, do a little bit of pruning in autumn time, and then do some more pruning in spring. So twice a year. But as Bex said, let them get established for a few years to start with.
Yeah, don't do too much. I killed one because of that.
Well, they do have a lifetime guarantee.
I killed one, I gave one away, I'm left with 2.
That's all right.
I'm good.
Right, we are going to... So we're pleased you've not had too many disasters this year. We are delighted about that. Should we move on to a new question in a few minutes' time?
Yeah, let's do it, shall we?
Yeah, all right. I'll tell you what we haven't done as well. How's the maths quiz? So basically, if you've just joined us, on our Christmas pre-recorded shows, there was a couple of word puzzles, and Bex was far faster than me on them.
I got them right away.
So I was like, but I'm really good at maths.
Yeah, where's my maths question?
So we've got a maths one today, halfway through. Right, so I can finish this one off.
I can finish this
I'm
now.
going to say,
that middle one's quite tough, isn't it? Something minus 7 times 4 is minus 24. Yeah, I'm not playing with that. What times 4 is minus 24? I don't get it. I'll go for the bottom one. I'll do the bottom one. Plus 6 minus 8 is 7. So 8.
So that's a 1, by the way. Sorry, 1 minus 7 is minus 6. Yeah, that's a 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3 minus 9. So there you go. Look. It's good, because yesterday Bex was the one going, yeah, got it. And I was like, it took me ages, didn't it?
You did.
Yeah. So if you do want to play along to some old puzzles, we have said recorded. You'll see on the Christmas pre-recorded shows that go out on Boxing Day. I'm rubbish at the words. Bex is really good, but I've made up today with the maths, haven't I?
Yeah, I just give up on the maths.
Yeah.
It's never been my subject. Let's
remind you of some of the other great items that we've had today on our Christmas special. So the most beautiful mini apple tree, known as Appletini. This is really sweet, really special. It's a mini apple tree, only goes to a couple of metres. You can grow it in a pot easily, and it produces really lovely, sweet, tasty mini apples. Like great for packed lunches, kids, great if you don't sometimes want them to mulch a massive apple, but it also produces the most delightful blossom in the springtime as well. It is, I can honestly say, I think it's one of the cutest apple trees that I've ever seen. And that's 30210, an amazing price at £9.99. Then we've got raspberries, and I am going to grow raspberries this year. I love raspberries. I think it's working out £1.50 and £1.35 if you're in the club. Big news on the club next year. Join today if you're not a club member. But these are the long canes. All you need to do, I would plant them, well, you can plant them in your borders, but I think they're brilliant in heavy duty pots, 3 in each. Don't plant them too deeply. That is very important with raspberries. All the instructions obviously are with them and on our website. And keep them well watered and put some mulch around them. Most people do recommend mulching raspberries. It keeps the moisture in, and then you get even sweeter, juicier fruits. 330018. Then we have also got beautiful bare root peonies. They are hardy. Peonies are winter hardy. You get all 3 of these. They are a bare root, so give them a little soak before you plant them. And we're going to say in 2025, you may get 1 or 2 flowers, but it will be year 2 and onwards where you really start to get several magnificent blooms. I put bare root peonies in my garden, and in year 2 was good, year 3 was magnificent, last year, or this year I should say, was incredible. 580004, they're going to flower sort of May time, so they're one of the sort of like early summer flowers, and you get these huge magnificent blooms. And actually, once these are established, you'll get so many flowers you could easily cut some of those and bring them indoors as well, because they do make a really fabulous indoor flower as well. 3 different colours on those, red, pink and the white. Then we've got one of my favourites, the Loropetalum Black Pearl. Is that the correct spelling? I've got an extra O on it. Yeah, Loropetalum, I like that. So it's the Loropetalum Black Pearl. Don't worry too much. It's known as a Chinese witch hazel, and it's magnificent, this one. It's a really lovely, unusual plant. So you get these firework ribbons of flowers in February, March time. Sometimes you get them in autumn as well. Sometimes you get a few random ones during the summer as well. Beautiful ever bronze foliage. And I always think with this one, it has got that lovely kind of oriental feel to it. It's got a tranquility, it's got a peacefulness. It looks great amongst things like your acers, but unlike your acers, this looks good all year round. Quite slow growing, so it's not too vigorous. Grows up and outwards, so it meanders, and it does create absolutely magnificent displays. Really unusual, that one, and it is down to just £10.99 today, 510604. Now we've also got for you, well, just the most remarkable plant known as Nandina Firepower. It is back down to the lowest ever price today. So it's under £10, and it's always interesting, this one. So you get flowers in the summer, little white flowers, followed by the berries that turn this waxy red, the foliage. Oh my word, it's ever changing. So right now, the Nandinas on the nursery are really, really rich red because it's been cold. They won't lose their leaves though. I mean, yes, it loses the odd leaf like any plant does as it matures, but it never ever is a bare twig. It always is covered with absolutely amazing leaves. So an absolute winner, all soil types, sunshade, everything in between. It is one of the most reliable, robust plants you can ever grow in your garden. Amazing. And that is 510823. Then we brought you the Callicarpa, which is another stunner when it comes to winter, the Profusion Beauty Berry. It's a well-established plant. It should arrive covered in these metallic purple berries on bare stems. It will, in summertime, be covered in these lovely green leaves that then go a bronzy colour in the autumn, and when they drop, they just reveal those clusters of berries as well. That's what the foliage looks like, by the way. So not the foliage, rather, the flowers look like, and they are really, really pretty and delicate. And obviously you get hundreds of those, and each one has the potential to produce one of these magnificent berries. But this show is a little bit different, because, you know, we know that Christmas, it's just around the corner. Stu just said, look, it's a bit like when you're at school and the last couple of lessons before you break up for Christmas are always a bit of a DOS. They were, weren't they?
They were, you just did take board games in.
I loved it, didn't you?
Just play games.
Last couple of days at school before Christmas, yeah, it was a bit of a DOS. Do people still use that word?
DOS. DOS around.
I like that.
Probably not.
No.
My kids are teaching me loads of new words. Got loads of new words. Riz is one of them. Have you got Riz?
No, what's it mean? Charisma.
Charisma. You got Riz. So if you got Riz, it means you're.
I've got Riz.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got Riz.
You got Riz? I got Riz, mate.
Got Riz. Can we tell? Look cool.
And there's something about I like my cheese drippy. I don't know what that means. Not got a clue.
No.
Teaching me all sorts of things.
Yeah. But they don't.
If I say it, they're like, "Oh, don't say that, Mum." Well, don't tell me it then.
Isn't it funny how like these words become like popular? And,
I know.
And like when everyone says like, "Oh, it's sick," is it? You know, that's supposed to be like, oh, that's supposed to be a good thing.
Well,
it's really sick. It's like
no, that's good.
That's like no, but it's not. That's sick's not good. Anyway, we digress. We're talking about plants now. We wanted this show to be a bit more interactive. We want to hear from you lovely gardening friends out there.
Yes, please.
And, I like this one.
Yeah, this is a really good one. What is your favourite new plant in your garden? I'm expecting loads of answers for this one. Pictures as well, if you can, send those through.
What a great question.
Do you know what? If it's from YouGarden, that would be wonderful. Obviously, we'd love that. But it doesn't have to be from YouGarden. So don't feel like you can't share, other plants with us. If it's anything that you've got, Maybe it's something you've always wanted and you finally got it.
Just don't, if you didn't buy it from us, just don't tell us where you did buy it from, okay? We don't want to know. But we want to see the pictures.
Yeah, we'd love to.
Yeah. So I think that's a great question. I always say every year, you've got to try some new things, haven't you? That's what gardening's about. It's about, maintaining your gardens and having your favourites. There's certain plants that like certain summer bedding plants that I plant every year. I always plant in the winter Pansy Cool Wave. Always plant my bulbs. But what was your favourite new plant in your garden? What excited you? What surprised you? And please send in some pictures. If you've never done this before, it's dead easy. You can email us ygtv@yougarden.com. So we would love to hear from you. What was your favourite new plant in your garden? Now, we would love to answer these questions, but we've saved our answers for our Christmas specials that we have recorded, and you can stream those on YouTube and on our website, of course, from Boxing Day onwards.
Yeah, so if you want your gardening fix at the usual times on the Thursday or on the Sunday, you can tune in. They will be playing, there will be shows playing at those times. But obviously, regulars, you'll know, you can tune in at any point and watch things back or watch at your leisure, basically. So they'll be ready for you.
Anything coming yet, Bex?
No, well, Amanda was saying she did use the Strolch with sad emojis.
It did work.
So she did use Strolch, but unfortunately that didn't work for her on that occasion. So
sorry, Amanda. No, it does normally.
Yeah, and Queen Elizabeth, she said she only had them for a few months on both occasions and really struggled. So Amanda, get back in touch. Once you do actually decide to take the plunge and go for the next ones, get back in touch and we'll see if we can give you some helpful tips and pointers.
I mean, I think the main things when you buy a bare root is you don't want it to dry out when it's getting established, but equally you don't want it to be waterlogged either.
Absolutely,
both those are not good for bare roots. And
quick message for Ruth. Ruth, the bulb thing is fixed.
Great!
So apologies for anybody who was trying to put 3 or more sets of bulbs in their basket and the price was reverting to $9.99. It has now been fixed. Thank you, Ryan, for fixing that. It was to do with an old promotion that needed switching off. So
really, thanks for
go for your heart's content. Put as many of those bulb offers into your basket, and it should obviously go through at $3.99 as long as you're using that code there, YGTV5124.
And you will still get your free gift.
Yeah.
The endless bulb collection. And we like this because I call this a twist on the classics. Most of you will know Muscari, but do you know Blue Moon?
It's got that lovely lighter tip at the top of the flowers. Exactly the same, as your other Muscari, still going to create that lovely carpet of colour. And it tidies up after itself as well, which I really like about Muscari. But you've got that added little detail with the lighter colour at the top.
And then Saxatilis. I mean, that you wouldn't even really know it was a tulip, would you?
No, it looks something a bit different, a bit unusual, but shorter growing.
Reminds me of a water lily a little bit. Would you say?
Yeah, I can see that.
A single water lily.
I can see what you mean, yeah.
And then you love this one.
I do, the Callicarpa. These are the dinky daffodils, as I like to call
them. The DDs?
So they are, classic daffodil shape with the trumpet, but you've got the contrast of colour because you've got the lighter petals with the brighter yellow centre there. But it is free at the end of the day. You're getting 20 bulbs, absolutely free, as long as you enter the code YGTV5124.
And it isn't too late to plant them, it really isn't. But what we would say is, and we are still dispatching, even though we're quite close to Christmas, we're still dispatching today, but try and just find a little hour between Christmas and New Year to plant, not an hour, 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, it won't take long at all.
Yeah, and if you can't be bothered to plant in the garden, just find yourself some pots and just put them in there with a bit of our premium compost and you'll reap the rewards. But it's a free gift with every single order today.
Right, so we've had a couple of answers to our question, what is your favourite new plant in your garden this year? So first of all, Neil, he says, apart from the Caribbean lily,
I was going to say that
my favourite other new plant is the hardy osteospermum, and I think that's a really good shout there, Neil, because osteospermums flower for ages, really low maintenance, but it's a hardy one, so it means it's going to keep coming back for you. You don't have to keep planting it every year. And the other one that's answered is Elaine. So thank you very much, Elaine. And she's a woman after my own heart. Her favourite is her Acer Moonrise.
Oh, yeah, you love Acer, don't you? I do too, but I really do.
Absolutely adore them.
So yeah, we'd love to hear from more of you. So any
What's
pictures?
What's your favourite plant? What's the favourite one you've added into your garden this year? Let us know. email, we just want to know, or if you want to add some pictures in as well and send the pictures, email to ygtv@yougarden.com.
And don't forget, if you want to find out what our favourite new plants are, you've got to watch the Christmas shows. You've got to stream those from Boxing Day onwards.
Yeah. Right, should we talk about some bare root roses?
Yeah, now we've got some really special ones.
Yeah.
And they are on a promotion, so it's a mix and match today. Tell you what, these are these are like not all, but a lot of these are the weird and wonderful ones.
Yeah.
And the deal is a buy one, get one free. So you're going to get, so it's a mix and match. So any two, you can go for two of the same, two completely different ones. And it works out £10 each, or if you are a club member, £8.99 per rose. But you need to put two in your basket, and then you get that special promotion. And say club members, and if you're not a club member, I'm going to say it one final time. What do we need to do today, Bex?
You need to join today.
Why today? Oh, no, don't say. But yeah.
We're not allowed to say, but there is no better time to join than today.
And club members, if you're already a club member, we cannot wait to share great news with you in January.
In the new year, we'll be back on the 2nd of January. 2nd of January, right? Thursday, the 2nd of January, we'll be back here in the Potting Shed
Will have recovered by then, Bex?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Is it just me? But I mean, I love Christmas New Year, but I sometimes... there's a lot going on, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah. You need stamina to get through it, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you know, there was one Christmas, though, that nobody was coming around until Christmas... Christmas Day, sort of like tea time-ish, and I did do some gardening.
Did you?
Yeah, because I was a bit stressed out with Christmas, and it made me feel so much better. I was like, I've had enough of all this planning.
I'm going outside, doing some
gardening. And it was a sunny day, and it was great. And actually, do you remember during lockdown, the first lockdown Christmas, when you couldn't see anybody, it was really sunny. I was here anyway. Do you remember?
I can't remember.
It was really sunny, and I remember me and my half we just sat out in the garden. We shouldn't really say this, but it was midday, and we had a G&T in the sun. Wrapped
absolutely.
Up.
It's Christmas Day, you're allowed to do that.
It was 12:01, it was loud. But it was actually really lovely.
Yeah,
we were wrapped up, because it was like 4 degrees, but it was really sunny.
Yeah.
But there's always moments to enjoy in the gardens, isn't it? But there's always planning to be done as well. So now is a great time to plant bare root roses.
Yeah.
And shall we start off with Raspberry Ripple? Look at this one.
Yeah, so really, really beautiful here. This one is the Raspberry Ripple, and like a couple of the others we're going to talk to you about today, this is caused by the jumping gene, that you've got these mixture of colours going on in here. And what we love about this is that it means that every single rose on that particular plant is going to be unique. It's going to be very different. What you'll get is sometimes more raspberry and sometimes more ripple, and sometimes it'll be a perfect mix of the two things together. But they're all going to be so very different. It's definitely a standout variety, isn't it? I think this is one that'll be a focal point.
And again, I have not actually seen this in anyone's garden.
No.
No, I haven't. I've seen your pictures of it, but because I don't have this one. You don't have this one, do you?
No.
But I've never actually seen it, so it is a rarer breed of rose. And I just love it when you've got something really different, really unusual, and that one certainly is. And actually, if you're looking thinking, well, I love the whole idea of that, but I'm not into my raspberry colours, we've got the same type of rose, but in oranges and lemons.
Yeah, and it's
that's warm, isn't it?
Exactly
Ooh.
the same thing that's going on here as well. That jumping gene causing that variation in the colour, the stripes, the different colours that you're getting, and they're all bare roots. So not only are we giving you amazing value with the buy one get one free mix and match, you're already getting amazing value because of the bare root nature of this. You don't have to pay for the pot. You don't have to pay for the compost. This is literally get it, soak it, plant it.
And I was just thinking, we pot up hundreds of thousands of bare root roses on our nursery. It's a working nursery. We basically pot the bare roots up in 3 litre or 4 litre pots on our nursery, and then we sell them for still at a great price, but a lot more than what you pay for bare roots. So if you just want to get great roses on a budget, buying a bare root is the best way to do it. And it is easy to plant a bare root, as we say. Give it a good drink. I would say at least a few hours, maybe overnight. Use our pre-professional compost. I always think with a rose, it doesn't matter whether it goes in a pot or the ground, because both, for pretty much all the roses, both are suitable.
I've got both.
Yeah,
so I've got some roses in the ground and I've got some that I've kept in pots.
So most of our varieties would do well in both, but just a nice sunny position in general, and do use our professional compost. Anything else you add into the ground when you plant a bare root rose, Bex?
Yeah, you can do. So I always use our professional compost because obviously it's already filled with amazing ingredients. I did add some mycorrhizal fungi into the pot when I was planting in a pot particularly.
It's something that we've both started using over the past 12 months. You
Sorry,
just dropped the iPad
iPad.
It's called mycorrhizal. You find it on our website, but it just gets the root development off to a really great start.
It's over there. I'll get it.
Or you say, just if you haven't got that, just mix in some of our professional compost into the rooting hole. But that's stuff. It's really, really good, and it is suitable really for all of your planting when it comes to perennials, bare roots. It gets them off to the best start, and a little bit goes a long way with that one.
And the item number's right there.
It is
100066 if you want to get some. That's
Your eyes
really
are better
good
today, Bex. So that is so that's just something we would recommend. Right. Oh, Alison!
Yes, Alison sent this in a little while ago, didn't she?
Amazing.
I mean, that could be the promotion picture, couldn't it? Look how beautiful they are.
Do you know, we remember that picture coming in, Alison, and our hearts just jumped with joy. So it is an extraordinary rose. Again, just like the raspberry ripple, every rose is different. Some will be more orange, some more yellow. Some a beautiful mixture of both. But we think, and it's up to you, but these roses are statement roses, so they look great just by themselves, don't they? They really do. Right, now we have got something maybe a little bit more traditional for you now, and this is a raspberry rose royale. I like this one because it's the most, I'm sure out of our whole range, it's the most compact.
Yeah, and that's the reason to go for this one. I mean, a few others, obviously, because it is beautiful. It's got a lovely raspberry colour, so it's not a bright red, it's a nice raspberry colour. Nice, deep and rich, beautiful, floribunda, repeat flowering, but it is more compact. This one's only going to get to about 2 feet height and spread, whereas other roses, you know, we talk minimum of 3. So, I mean, my Arthur Bell is as tall as me, so, you know, they can get really nice and big, but this one should stay nice and compact, give you lovely clusters of roses. The roses might be slightly smaller, but you get lots and lots of them, which is what is important about this one. Great clusters of them, a light fragrance on this one, not a really heavy rose fragrance, and that might be of benefit to a lot of people, because I know it can be a love-hate relationship, can't it? You love the look, but don't like the really strong smell. That one has a nice light fragrance to it and is nice and compact. So smaller gardens, or maybe for growing in pots, that would be the perfect option for you.
I'm just trying to find, because
Was this at Chelsea?
Yeah, I was very lucky to go to Chelsea, and I was on the Humorous rose stand, and they
did have them, didn't they?
Yeah, but I bet I can't find it. They had a whole little Right, Bex, I'm going to send this to you.
All right, we'll have a look.
You can only see it in the background. But honestly, it looked. They did a whole trough of them, and they're only, say, about 50 centimetres high, but hundreds of these little roses, and they did look amazing. Right, bear with me, Bex.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a lovely one.
Just think about when you're planting it out, what location you're going to put it into. If it's going into a border, bear in mind that it does stay that little bit shorter, so you might want to put it slightly further towards the front. But I do think that this is the perfect one for growing in a pot. So if you do want a rose, you could grow the others in a pot quite happily, but this would be even more suited to it just because of that perfect compact nature that you've got here. And that raspberry colour, I also think is a really beautiful one as well, isn't it?
Right, I've sent you that one, Bex. It's to the right of the picture.
I will keep updating until I receive the email.
I'm going to try. But it surprised me. I'm not being funny, but when I saw it on the Harkness Rose stand, and bred by Harkness Roses, 140 years experience, 25 gold medals at Chelsea. But it really surprised me how pretty it was.
Yeah.
And I just think if you say for smaller gardens, really, really say compact rose that looks incredible. So it's over there to the right, Bex. It's that one there.
That one there.
It's that one there in the grey planter. But that whole, it's a shame we didn't take one of the whole planter all the way along. But you can see it there. So really lovely, isn't it?
Lovely, very nice.
Yeah, I
love
Chelsea.
I'm going to go next year. I'm going to make sure I get in next year.
You
Chelsea
go to the
flowers
VIP door, Bex?
Absolutely, obviously. I mean, no other door available
Hey,
for me.
we talked about, because I'm Adam Woolcott, who's with you on Sunday.
Yes, he is, yes.
I'm in pantomime on Sunday.
No, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am. Yes. God, I'm trying to remember my first line. What's my first line?
Hi.
No, my first line is I make this terrible wail, okay, like this sound of pain, and then I say that's the sound of real pain because I'm in love with Rutland Bell. But I make this really big sound, and then I say that I'm not overacting this year, which I am, obviously. But anyway. So I'm not here. Adam's here. I digress. The reason I'm talking about Adam, he has won 4 gold medals at Chelsea, and we were saying, wouldn't it be great if YouGarden had a garden at Chelsea?
I
well,
know.
We love that. It was your idea, wasn't it?
I'd love to do that. I would love to do that.
We'd have to. I don't think we could do it as YouGarden, but we could do it as ourselves, couldn't we?
We could do it as ourselves.
Yes.
Anyway,
we digress. Let's move on.
Right, so remember it's a mix and match. Choose the 2 that you want. It might be 2 of the same, it might be 2 different ones. It's entirely up to you. The next one that we've got for you is the Rose Abracadabra.
Love this one.
So very similar story to the Oranges and Lemons and the Raspberry Ripple Jumping Gene here, which is why you've got those mixtures of colours, and I really like the 2 colours in here. That burgundy colour with that yellow stripes in there. Oh, yes, it's lovely.
I mean, that is an absolute designer rose, isn't it?
It is a designer rose for sure.
And we're talking about what have you grown this year that's new and exciting. What's your favourite new plant? I guarantee if you buy that rose, that will be your absolute favourite rose next year.
Yeah.
It is stunning, it's unique, every rose is different, but how incredible to get a burgundy with a yellow.
Definitely.
Doesn't that work?
It really does work. It's a floribunda as well, and it does have lots of flowers per cluster. We do say that on this one you should, once it gets established, get an average of about 7 flowers per cluster, which is quite a few on there. And it's supposed to be less thorny than others. Not thorn-free at all, but less thorny than others.
It's just an incredible rose, and as I say, buy them as bare roots, you'll save a fortune. It is a buy one, get one free. I think we're going to be really busy today, so some amazing deals, and thank you to everyone that's watching. And then our final rose is more, we should say there's 5 more on our website. Is there? Are you thinking of the pre-recorded shows? I was thinking there might be 5 on there, another 5. Is it not, Stu? It might work with some of the other ones on there. It might. But we've also got some in the pre-recorded shows. Yeah. So have a little look after Boxing Day. If the variety you want isn't in the deal, have a little look after Boxing Day. Yeah. But trust us, amazing bare root roses. I mean, £10 each, £9 each. And our final one is, love this one. I like this one. I really like this one. So it was King Charles' coronation, obviously named for our King Charles and his coronation. I really like this rose. Same here. You know, if you want to get it because it's got that lovely association with King Charles, then brilliant. But actually, I really just love this rose. Yeah. It's beautiful, isn't it? And I see this as a rose that's had pink inches to it, and it's been beautifully edged. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Ruffled edges to it. The shade of pink that's in there as well is really beautiful. It's also got it looks like a little apricot shade in the centre there too. It's just perfection, isn't it? I think it reminds me a little bit of a peony. Yeah, definitely. Look at it. Definitely. Whoa. That is an incredible rose, and we are so delighted that so many of our roses are bred by Harkness, and they spend decades sometimes breeding roses. They do, yeah. It takes a long time, doesn't it, to get a rose to the stage where it can be released for sale to the public. We're saying 8 years minimum is what it takes for them to actually breed those roses, from the start point to them being able to release it for sale. And that's minimum. Sometimes it takes a lot longer as well. But I mean, if you're looking for the most beautiful, new, exciting rose, King Charles coronation. I like that one. I do. I love that one. Yeah. Well done. It's a buy one, get one free. It's a mix and match. Now, we are asking you right now, what's your favourite new plant in 2024? What really excited you? What grew in your garden that makes you go like, wow? And we've had a big response to this one. We have, yeah. So Tracy has emailed in. No picture, but she has said, my favourite this year was Verbena bonariensis. Yes. Very good. Yeah, definitely. That's way up on our lists as well. So thank you for that one, Tracy. Grimmy has sent one. I can help you with the name on this one, Grimmy. He says, this year's favourite, but the name escapes me. Let's have a look.
This one is minus Merlot.
Oh yeah, you've got this one, Bex. Yeah, that's definitely
It's the Euphorbia minus Merlot, and that, Grimmy, is going to be incredible. Honestly, the changing colour you get on that throughout the seasons is fantastic, and it looks good every day. Mine is looking amazing, and it has looked amazing every single day.
And you wait till springtime when you get those yellow flowers.
Oh. It's going to be so good, honestly. So well done for that one, Grimmy. I think
Like
that's a really good one. Amanda sent another one, my faves. She says, there are so many. My Caribbean lily, my climbing jasmine, my palms, my banana plants, my cordylines, and my tulips.
Do you know, we did, thank you, Amanda, we did have some amazing cordylines this year, didn't we? The Lime Passion, the Charlie Boy, just name a few, some really exciting... Oh, the Can-Can as well,
Yeah, the Can-Can was good. Alwyn says, my still bees were my favourite this year. I have 3 from YouGarden, and they were magnificent.
Yeah, we had some really nice still bees, didn't we?
Oh, it looks like we might have missed her. She says, I'm sorry, got to go, lovely people. Hope
Sorry.
everyone has a wonderful Christmas. See you all very soon. Bye. Neil's going. He says, oh no, he's saying goodbye to Alwyn. That was right.
Oh yeah,
Neil's probably
you
still
stay,
with us.
Neil.
Amanda says she's got to go as well. She's on Facebook. So lots of love to you.
And have a great Christmas.
Thank you very much. Yeah, have a lovely Christmas. We'll see you in the new year.
And don't forget, we have recorded those 2 special shows over Christmas. They'll be released on Boxing Day. You can watch them on the YouGarden website or on YouTube, and we'll be answering these questions as well.
I love that Neil and Stu are having a lovely conversation in here about mulled wine. Oh, Grimmy's in there too. Hang on, Grimmy's in there. Drank plenty, Stu. Mulled, none of my own. Great with a drop of amaretto in it.
Ooh.
That's amaretto is one of my faves. I just amaretto on ice.
So,
love
my
that
best
drink.
job, not the best job, but one of the jobs I did. I worked at a food and wine show, and all I had to do was give people free samples of amaretto.
Brilliant. I'll keep coming back.
And honestly,
I need to buy a bottle of amaretto
the whole
for Christmas.
stand, I mean, God, we could honestly, every single one of us on the stand was slightly slurred. And it was amaretto and orange. We used to.
Yeah, it's nice. Do you know amaretto and apple juice is really nice as well. Delicious. I like it straight, but amaretto and apple juice is really weird combo, but it actually tastes really nice. Drink
I can't believe I used to.
responsibly.
Please drink responsibly. But I honestly, I mean, you go back 30 years when things are not quite as strict as they are now. But honestly, my job was just to serve amaretto and to drink it with the people that are trying it too.
Oh, Neil, no, he's teetotal. Never touched a drop of wine or any alcohol in my 45 years so far.
Good on you, Neil.
Well done, you, Neil.
Yeah, good on you.
We should probably all follow that example.
It's true. And do drink responsibly. We are only joking. Please do drink responsibly.
Stu just said, think of all the money and the brain cells that he's saved.
Absolutely.
Totally. So yes, drink responsibly and have a lovely Christmas, however merry that might be.
Funny enough, I did bump into a friend recently who used to be quite a heavy drinker, and she's got really into gardening. And do you know what? She just says gardening gives her the biggest buzz out of anything.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Absolutely.
But right. We've still got a
up.
few things to show you. And just quickly, don't forget your free gift is that amazing selection of bulbs. And all you need to do is use the code YGTV5124. Free postage, we spend over £40 as well. And we are still dispatching, by the way. We're still dispatching today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the nursery's still busy. Things are always happening. Right, we have now got... Oh my word, the most stunning cherry tree. The ultimate cherry tree. The Cherry Prunus Kanzan. To me, this is the classic cherry.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it definitely
it
is.
is.
The absolute classic flowering cherry tree that you will get from this. And I adore cherry blossom season. It is my favourite time of year. Honestly, it is so beautiful.
That's it, isn't it?
I don't know what... it must be a Kanzan that's around the corner from my house, but I walk past it every day in the springtime, and it is just the most beautiful sight.
And I mean, you've got the double blossoms on here. Quite often, you'll get all of that blossom just before the leaves, of course, come through. So you get them a spectacular look. And I always think with a Cherry Prunus Kanzan, it wants to be in prime position, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Don't
it's a
take it
focal
away.
point, isn't it? It's definitely, if you've got a lovely large garden, massive space.
Like in your new house, Bex?
Yeah, like in my new space. Then having it as a central focal point, that could be amazing, couldn't it?
I'm going to insist when Bex moves that she gets a big garden. If you show me a house, it's got a small garden.
Tiny garden.
No. Loves a sunny spot, by the way. Loves a sunny spot. And I always say, ideally sheltered from strong winds because you don't want to lose the blossom too quickly.
No.
And if you've never planted a bare root, Bex has done a great video. In fact, should we see it?
Yeah, why not?
I just love this. It covers everything you need to know, doesn't it?
It does. It's so simple.
So if you're thinking, oh, I don't know whether to buy bare root, here's Bex to tell you everything you need to know.
Here at YouGarden, we provide lots of bare root fruit trees. We've got all the classics. We've got the apples, we've got the pears, we've got the plums, but we've also got those soft fruit varieties as well. We've got sweet cherries, we've got peaches, we've got apricots. But for a real talking point, what about our duo fruit trees, where you can grow 2 varieties on 1 tree? They're so easy to plant as well. This is your bare root. Now, the reason to have bare roots and to buy bare roots is because it's incredibly cost effective. It's really cost effective for us to send these in the post, which ultimately makes it really cost effective for you as a gardener. Now, one of the great benefits of these bare root trees is that they never get too big. Which means if you've got a smaller garden, you can grow these. You don't need acres of land. You can even grow these in a pot on a patio if you want to. It also means you can pretty much always reach those fruits from standing height without having to get onto ladders. The reason they don't get too big is because they have been grafted onto what we call this miniature rootstock. That restricts the height of the plant, meaning that we can grow them in those smaller spaces. We can always reach the fruits. And if we need to, we can net the top to stop the birds getting at them. Now, this is how your bare root fruit tree is going to arrive. The roots will be wrapped. That just helps to keep them moist. Once you get hold of it, what you need to do is unwrap those roots, and then you're left with this root ball here. In order to plant your bare root fruit tree, all you need to do is put this into a bucket of water to soak overnight, give it a really good drink, and then you're ready to plant. We recommend, first of all, our heavy-duty pots, if you're not putting these into the ground, and, of course, our premium professional compost, because it's filled with so much goodness, your trees will adore it. Once you've got it planted, whether it's in the ground or in a pot, all that's left to do is to give it a really good drink. Keep it well watered. In springtime, you will start seeing all of that beautiful blossom appear. And then, of course, your fruits will start to come. Within a couple of years, you'll start getting really good crops. And, of course, you'll get them for decades to come.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, the process for planting a bare root, and it could be a tree, it could be a rose, it could be any bare root, that process is exactly the same.
I mean, the only thing I'd say with this, I wouldn't personally put it in a pot.
No.
It's, you know,
agreed. This is going to get big. Yeah. So, yeah, this is going in the ground.
And
if you want flowering cherry that go in a pot, we do have other options that are more, you know, compact. But this is a tree.
And all of the fruiting cherries, like the Stella, still has lots of blossom. But if you want the ultimate blossom tree, this obviously doesn't produce cherries. It's all about the blossom. It is only $14.99 today. And if you did buy that potted, covered in blossom in springtime, you would spend an absolute fortune on it. Don't forget, by the way, if you need compost today, we have still got our premium professional compost, our bestseller here at YouGarden. And
need to get rid of my Santa sleeves.
I was going to say, be a bit careful with those Santa's sleeves.
Just do this with my Santa sleeves. There we go.
It doesn't look quite the same, that. I know, it's quite like that. But you are getting 100 litres for just £27.98. The discount club price, $25.18. Hey, again, if you are not a club member, join the club today.
Yes,
and
please.
Club members, if you're already a club member, you'll be delighted to know in January about your new benefit.
He's being very halting in what he's saying because we're not allowed to talk about
I'm sort of like,
it.
what can I say, what can't I say?
Just join the club today, please. Join the club. You will thank us in January,
Yes.
and we will tell you all the details in January.
You're so right. I am choosing my words carefully. If you're already a member, don't worry.
Yes.
You're absolutely fine. You're in the best place possible, and you will love your club membership even more in January 2025. We'll leave it there.
Absolutely.
So very quickly, this is compost that we use in the nursery. We have used it for years, if not decades. Very quickly, you've got 50% composted wood fibre. Bex is showing the texture. Amazing. It means that all of those roots can find the water, the nutrients, everything that need, including oxygen. It's so well compost. It's got such a lovely, even fibrous texture. Beautiful to the touch.
Smells good. It feels good. It's got these little green balls all the way through it as well. Loads of these little green balls you'll find, and that contains a slow-release fertiliser that will feed your plants for about 4 to 6 months once you first plant them in here. It's the insurance policy to make sure they get feed because, you know, we're rubbish and we forget.
Now, you've also got different types of peat in here. Some are renewable, replenishable, like sphagnum moss peat. You've also got white and dark peats. And that means that this compost is suitable for pretty much everything. You know, seeds, plug plants, perennials, trees, and everything in between. I use it, I mean, this is a little clip from a couple of months ago. I planted everything up in the pub garden that I look after in this compost, and I can honestly say the results. I mean, that trough now, and I'll share a picture with you in January, that is now just a mass of colour.
Yeah, but
you can't even see any of the compost.
Yeah, it's beautiful. This is pH balanced as well, so it's going to work for the majority of the things that you plant in here. A couple of exceptions, you know, the things that like the ericaceous compost, so blueberries, rhododendrons, you know, those sorts of things. But this has been formulated for it to work for pretty much everything else, for 98% of the things that you're ever going to plant in your garden or even for your houseplants as well.
Ruth said, can we just pretend it's January and then we can see about the next year? No,
Yeah, actually, he's got to start dry January, and I have to go on a diet, so I don't want to do that yet.
Yeah.
You're not doing dry January at all, are you?
No, I'm doing moist January.
Moist January.
Yeah.
Slightly damp.
I'll be honest, I've got so many social things over Christmas that, you always drink and eat too much. But I'm not going to worry about any of that till January.
Exactly.
And I'm going to put all my energy into my garden, even in January.
So come and join us on the 2nd of January to find out the
we'll tell you all
fantastic
about
new news.
the new benefits.
I need to want to get one of these. Not the 2nd. On the 6th, we can tell you.
We can tease on the 2nd, can't we? Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Heavy duty pots is the next thing to talk to you about. And that is, you saw Shaun actually using them in that clip of footage.
Yeah.
And if you were to put a camera on my garden, I would be doing exactly the same thing, just in a smaller garden. But I do decant my compost into the pot to use it.
Yeah.
I use it to plant things in. I use it as a temporary home for plants. You know, exactly the same things that you're seeing Shaun do is what I use mine for as well.
Oh, Bex, have you got the picture of my Christmas trees?
Yeah, of course.
Only because I had those Christmas trees stuck in the heavy-duty pots all year, and now finally they are at the front of my house. I've just put little hessian sacks around them. But honestly, I've worked with YouGarden, and some of you that have known me for many years, I've worked with them for 20... I think it's about 21 years now.
What, YouGarden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
21 years.
Yeah, it will be.
And I can honestly say that is the most used products I've ever bought from YouGarden. And I've got like at least 15 of these for various uses. And when we actually filmed that in my garden, Stu didn't have to bring any of these. That was, you know, they were all there. So, yeah, he did bring some and left them in the boot because he didn't need them. I was like, I've got them, Stu. I've got loads of them everywhere.
We don't need them.
So what I've done, so they just stayed out of the way during the year, and then finally, there they are.
Look at that. And those are the heavy-duty pots, just with hessian sacks and a tie around them, twinkly lights on those trees. What is that flag? Oh, no, it's not a flag, it's ribbon.
It's a ribbon.
It's a flag in the background.
It does look like a flag. By the way, if you're doing the same thing, if you've got maybe a living Christmas tree from us this year, and you're going to plant it in a heavy-duty pot, in terms of putting hessian around it, I used hessian bags, and they were 1 metre in terms of size by 60 centimetres.
Right.
And I literally wrapped the hessian bag around it, but you can do whatever you want with them. But they're brilliant, aren't they?
I like it. I didn't do the... Yeah, I'm going to do it. You've made me jealous. I'm going to copy you. There you go.
Fine. I've inspired you. Right, we still want to hear from you.
Yes,
you've got
please.
about 20 minutes or so to send in your pictures of your favourite best new plant in 2024. And if you want to find out what Bex's favourite plant was this year and my favourite plant, watch these shows over Christmas that I released on Boxing Day. We've still got a few things to share with you.
Yeah, we have.
The bulbs, we sorted out the issue, so now you can buy as many as you like and you only pay $3.99 each. Starting with the crocus. We didn't see these live, but they are part of the promotion. They are in clearance today and they are only £3.99. And you are getting here 40 amazing crocus, and these are one of the first to flower. You imagine when it's February and it's a little bit dull, these will just brighten up any garden. The lovely thing with crocus, you can plant them pretty much anywhere. Some people plant them in lawns, some people plant them under trees, pots, containers, but a beautiful mix, and they're 600,082. Then we've got the Spring Festival mix. Again, 60 bulbs for just $3.99. Look at those irises. Oh, lovely. Then you've got the alliums. These will flower. These are a bit later, actually. These are the mollies. Grow to about 50 centimetres and they'll flower at May time. And then the Tritilia. I've never grown these, I have to confess, but a beautiful, beautiful blue. They're absolutely stunning, 600,259. Then we've got a tulip and crocus mix. Now, these are an early flowering tulip and a little bit compact. And then you've got all of the different crocus to go with them as well. So it's a lovely collection, again, for smaller gardens, hanging baskets, pots and containers. And again, they are reduced in price to $3.99. And it is not too late to plant bulbs. Really isn't. Now, Olwyn was still planting her bulbs earlier. Again, it's not too late. And we've got the Narcissi Tete-a-Tete 30 bulbs for $3.99. I love these. I have honestly planted hundreds of these this year, literally hundreds of them. In fact, I can't wait for spring and I will share the pub garden with you because every container has got the tete-a-tetes in and they're going to look amazing. I think I planted about 400 of them. And I did pay a lot more than you paid, just to let you know. So you've got them today with a £6 saving. They're smaller, you get multiple flowers on each individual stem. And normally they do flower around about Mother's Day, so March time, they will be at their very, very best. Just as the days are lengthening out, the nights are getting shorter, and the sun is beginning to shine. Now, if you want a slightly taller classic daffodil, we've got the King Alfred. So this is a full-size daffodil, full yellow, so the trumpet, the petals, all yellow on this one. An absolute favourite classic daffodil, and that's 600,431 for the King Alfred. Something a little bit different for you next, and it's the Fritillaria Snake's Head. It's a lovely bulb, this one. You can see why it's called Snake's Head because the flowers literally do look like a snake's head. I mean, that is an amazing bulb, isn't it? And the lovely thing about these is they actually do really well in shade. So if you've got a dull, shady area, plant these. You know, maybe just brighten up your ferns and things like that with your Fritillaria. Maybe it's say an area that you struggle with some other bulbs. I mean, you know, tulips love sun, these love the shade, and they're 600,133. Then we've got the classic Triumph Red tulip. So this is the tulip that, if I think back to my childhood, I remember so fondly. It is the classic goblet tulip, and it is in the stunning, what I call a true red. And if you are worried about planting bulbs at this time of year, tulips want to be planted late. I mean, in fact, we only recommend that you start to plant tulips in November. So it is still the perfect time to plant these. They're all really good, firm, solid bulbs. Just plant them point side up. You probably know that already, but point side up. And whatever, the general rule to bulb planting is whatever size the bulb is, plant it 2 times its depth. But a few minutes of your time, when you get these delivered, and you're going to really enjoy those in April. 600,001. Right, the roses, it is a mix and match. It is a buy one, get one free. So what have we got? We've got some stunners. We've got the Raspberry Ripple. This one is one of the roses that's got a jumping gene. Every rose is unique and different. They are breathtaking. So if you love this type of rose, but you're looking for a different colour palette, we have got the orange and lemon for you as well. Do you know what? We had some lovely images of these coming from customers this year. It's been an absolute favourite amongst our new gardeners. 530249. The arrivals of bare root, all the instructions on our website, but you give that bare root a good soaking and you can plant them in the ground or in containers as well. Then abracadabra. I want to reach out and grab it. Yes, we have got this stunning rose. Again, it's got the jumping gene, so every rose is different, but look at the colour. You've got like a burgundy, a rich velvety burgundy combined with the yellow. It is an amazing rose. Now, the most compact rose that we do is this one. It's a Harkness rose. Been really popular. So I saw this planted on the Harkness rose stand at Chelsea, and it is just remarkable. And what you have to appreciate with this one, it's a really small rose. So the maximum would be 60 by 60 centimetres, absolute maximum. And you get hundreds of delicate small roses. And I forgot to mention, speaking to the guys at Harkness, and they've won 25 gold medals at Chelsea, they are multi-award winning breeders, it flowers for such a long period. You know, it really is one of their longest flowering roses. The fragrance is subtle, it's not one of the big full fragrances. It's delicate, but it is a delight. Honestly, that is a lovely rose. You could even create like a mini hedge with that one. Great for small gardens, great for containers. And that is 540074. Then also popular today, one of our newest roses, and it's a King Charles combination. What a rose this is. It almost is peony-esque in its look. It's got these gorgeous frilly edges to it. As I mentioned earlier, it looks like you've had your pink and cheers to it. An absolute beauty. And what a colour that is as well. 540242. So Bex has been checking the chat. Any more favourite new products?
No updates, to be honest with you. Grimmy's pointed out a mistake. Fixed, so hopefully that's all good. Thank you very much for pointing stuff out. We do appreciate it, honestly.
We do.
Thank you.
We want to know. We always want to know, don't we?
And I'm just checking in the emails. Anybody sent anything else in the emails? I don't think we've had anything else yet. But if you want to share your biggest or your best favourite new plant in the garden, we've got about 15 minutes left, so you can send it through. Pictures are always welcome on ygtv@yougarden.com, but if you just want to tell us what they are, we would be so pleased to hear it.
We can't really describe how excited we get by seeing your gardens and seeing your journeys and seeing what
we're like proud parents, aren't we?
We are. Because some of you have been with us now 18 months. Some of you have followed us from when we used to be on Ideal World, and you've kind of been with YouGarden for 20 years. I know some customers. Because we've got a big catalogue business as well, and we're on all the different platforms. We're also on QVC, of course. In fact, Bex, you've got a show on QVC this Saturday, isn't it?
Saturday morning at 10 o'clock? 10 o'clock?
It's the day after
Is it 10 o'clock?
I don't know, I'm not doing it. I'm recovering from my birthday.
Yeah, it's because it's Sean's birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday wishes for Sean.
Thank you.
Definite. He's only going to be 72 tomorrow, so, he's still got lots of time left.
Thanks, Ben.
But that's why he's not doing QVC, so I get to go and do that one this time.
But I thought at my age, Bex, it takes a bit of time to recover.
Well, exactly. I'm all for it.
Yes.
I don't mind.
But we've got, just quickly, we have got such an exciting year planned for 2025. Say, there's going to be amazing things happening with the club, but you need to join today to get the best deal. And we've got some brand new plants for 2025 as well. Got quite a few of those. And lots happening. We now do TikTok as well. I was also thinking, Bex, about next year. I mean, we've got grand plans, but we want to really have a YouGarden garden on site or
that would be so cool
if
we could do that.
Yeah, we're thinking about maybe building raised beds just outside the studio.
We could just be out there gardening and chatting to people.
So it's going to be a lovely year. We really promise that. Right, very quickly, this is our favourite stable. So all of these look stunning right now in December. Callicarpa, Fusion Beauty, Wow.
What a beauty.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, winter colour, it's all you need in your, not all, but it's one of the things you need in your garden for winter colour. This can get really nice and big as well. You know, over a bit of time, it can get to 6 feet high, you know, 4 feet spread. And that covered in these beautiful purple berries at this time of year will be amazing. The berries are there, sort of, well, yeah, I mean, they start in sort of the end of November into December. They creep into January as well. You have beautiful foliage on this throughout the year and lovely pink clusters of flowers as well in summertime. So something to look at all year round.
And we said earlier, if you like to bring foliage inside at Christmas to make the indoor of your home look even more festive, imagine those berries in wreaths and garlands and things. Amazing. Right, everybody should have a Nandina.
Everyone needs a Nandina.
Everybody.
Amazing colour, ridiculously hardy, like stupidly hardy. Looks good every single day of the year. And it never has a bad day.
It doesn't.
Never does.
It's just like Bex. I never see Bex looking rough on the morning, ever.
Shut up, you.
Hey, I think at least you arrive with makeup and I arrive looking shocking some days.
Only because it takes ages.
But as Bex said, it's always doing something. You get flowers, you get the waxy red berries, you get foliage that is ever changing. And do you know what I love about it? It is the most undemanding plant you could ever grow. Doesn't care on soil type, doesn't care sunshade,
doesn't
anything
need
in between.
pruning, nothing.
No.
Just doesn't need
and
anything.
actually, I've discovered it actually does really well in cities and urban areas. It doesn't seem to suffer from pollution either. It is a win, 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 win. Yeah. Do we like that one?
We like it. I think you can tell we like that one.
Yeah.
We also like this lovely Clematis as well, because this is an evergreen Clematis, first of all. Clematis, we know, I mean, we grow them because we love them. We love all the flowers we get in summertime, but this one is evergreen and it flowers in winter. So it doesn't look rubbish in winter like the other ones do. This one is going to have all that foliage on there, but it's also going to have the beautiful flowers between, and quite long flowering, about November and May here as well.
Lovely, lovely flowers. And then we've also got the Ceanothus. Now, when it comes to May, there's nothing that steals the show like a Ceanothus. You get that absolute carpet of blue. And we do different sizes. You know, we do the 2 litre, the 3 litre, but the best value is a 9 centimetre. These are relatively quick to grow as well. And sometimes it is nice to have that journey to buy a plant that's this size and then see it grow and thrive in your garden. It does, by the way, have our lifetime guarantee because it is fully winter hardy and it is evergreen. We often forget to say you've got those lovely, delicate leaves, but look at the flowers, and great for pollinators as well. Quite a compact variety, this one, so on average it's going to get to like about 1.5 meters. The only thing I will say, it absolutely thrives in a sunny spot. It will do okay in part shade, but I think to get the best out of Ceanothus, you really want full sun.
Yeah,
really
definitely. Put it in a full sun position. It's going to be beautiful. Next one we've got is the Loropetalum, the black pearl. And it really is so dark in colour that you can see why it's been called the black pearl. The foliage, it's like a deep burgundy, but so deep that it actually does look black in colour. But it's about the contrast between that foliage and the other plants in your garden, but the foliage with those amazing flowers. If I turn it around, you can see those a little bit more. Look, those bright pink and they're really bright pink, aren't they?
Like
they're like
crimson.
ribbons of flowers you get on there.
In terms of where it likes to be, imagine an Acer. So it likes sort of like, I would say, dapple shade. It likes a sheltered corner, keep it protected from storm winds. It grows slowly. It's not vigorous, but it grows beautifully. I say it meanders. It kind of goes up and across. And it really, really does steal the show. Normally flowers, I mean, as it's flowering now, they can be a bit random. They normally flower sort of March time, February, March, but you often get extra flowers in autumn, and then sometimes it just decides to please you and throw out a few flowers on random months of the year. But it's a lovely plant. I think it looks really good in a kind of Asian setting, so you know we've got like Buddhas and water features. That's like Zen
garden, definitely.
Right, these are great.
Well, great
really
because
good.
They're beautiful pots, but also great because we've got a stonking deal on these. It's a buy one get two free. So all you've got to do is pick which colour you want, put it in your basket, enter that code YGTV5124. Another 2 of the same colour will appear in your basket.
absolutely free.
And that works out for club members £3.60 a pot. And these are a really good size. We do the bigger and the smaller Helix planters, but I think for most, I mean, a lot of the plants we've got today, like the Nandina, the Loropetalum, the Callicarpa, they just look perfect in there. Imagine just underplanting that with a bit of winter bedding or some of the bulbs that are on clearance today. It's going to look amazing, isn't it?
It really is going to look amazing.
That makes me so happy seeing that in there.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
And it's a really versatile pot that we're talking about because, yes, it'll work great for your perennials and your shrubs and things, but it is also something that you could plant your spring bulbs in or your summer bulbs or whatever you want to do. You will get 3 of the same colour, so just choose the colour you want or go for more.
Yeah.
And at this price, I would recommend it, absolutely. Go for multiples of them. We talked about having spare pots, haven't we? So you don't have to... Because I've done it a few times. My osteospermum, the purple sun, they were in a pot, but I needed that pot. I didn't have another pot. I needed that one. So I ended up pulling them out before I really should have done. Have spares so that you don't have to do that.
And that means you can just rotate. And these should last you... I'm going to say a lifetime. They could last you a lifetime, but they are pretty indestructible.
Yeah.
UV resistant, frost-proof, great drainage as well. It's just a case of which colour do you want. And remember, it's a buy one, get 2 absolutely free on the Helix planters. You will get, by the way, free postage when you spend over £40.
Yes.
Right, would you like to grow raspberries?
I would like to grow raspberries.
Yeah, I'm thinking of doing that.
I actually really would.
Yeah.
These are very simple to grow. Raspberries are actually quite easy to grow, aren't they? You know, you can plant these in the ground, and if you do, you want to space them by about 50 to 60 centimetres, but these are perfect for growing in pots as well. If you want to get our heavy-duty pots, we do a pack of 3 of them. You could put 3 in one, 3 in another, and 4 in the other one. Just create like a little teepee wigwam type shape, and you will get beautiful raspberries growing on these. And these will grow on this year's as well. So I think it was this year's, wasn't it?
Yes.
This variety? Could you just check for me, Stu? I might be mixing it up with the other variety.
I was going to say next year's.
I could have sworn this was a this year's.
But you might be right, Bex. We do some that fruit on this year's, some on next year's. You might well be right, Bex. We'll just double check.
I could have sworn it was. We'll double check. Anyway. Yeah, fruit in the first season, absolutely. So very, very simple.
The ones we do with fruit the next year,
are
still great, but I am impatient, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm growing it, I want it now, please. Well, not, you know, I want it in the first season. And you are getting 10 of these, so it's £1.50 per cane. Check out my maths.
Or £1.35 for club members. Check out my maths. So once they've fruited, you can chop them right back because it will fruit on the new growth.
Exactly that, yeah. So really, really good one. A little bit different from other varieties, but it just makes life nice and simple. Just plant them somewhere really bright and sunny. And
I know you might be thinking, oh, I don't have like room to do rows of raspberry canes and stake them all up, but honestly, in those heavy-duty pots, they work really well. Just a top tip, they want sun, and most people recommend putting a mulch around the base. Just keep the moisture in.
Yeah.
They really...
They like the moisture.
Yeah. And that gives you really sweet, delicious tasting fruit. So just a couple of tips. Nice sunny position, use our compost and do mulch around the canes and you get perfect raspberries. Now, we've saved one of the best until last. Double Queen, Hellebores. We love our Hellebores. A lot of you bought the Christmas rose, but these are doubles. And look at the colours.
Yeah. Yeah, the colour mix you're getting included in here is quite fantastic, isn't it? Look at those.
I mean...
There's some really rich, beautiful, deep colours. They're double flowers. You've got some ruffled edges on there.
Bicolours. Oh. See, we love Hellebores, and they flower all through the winter. So, you know, when it's really dull outside, January, February, March, April, imagine having these blooms.
Yeah, and they're great, aren't they? Because they're perennials, they're so easy, there's very low maintenance, they don't take over. They just slow down a little bit in the summertime, you know, in the hot weather, and then they'll come back for you. Just plant them in a semi-shady position. They don't want to be in bright sun. That's what I found with Hellebores. If you put them in bright sun, they
like me. They like a bit of a parasol.
Yeah, and have nice free-draining soil. They didn't like my clay. They don't like my clay.
No.
Not many things like my
No,
clay.
there's a few. But also great in, obviously, pots and containers. But
Yeah.
it is about the varieties. I mean, we do lots of different hellebores. The double queen mix are extraordinary. They're flamboyant hellebores, they're multicoloured, they're bicoloured, and hellebores do tend to be long-lived as well.
They do. They last a long, long time. And normal flowering season for these will be between December and sort of February and March time. Obviously, these are smaller ones at the moment, so I'd like to think you might get a few flowers, but we're planting for the future here.
And you do sometimes get, I remember even in the summer, we had like random pictures coming and saying, my hellebor's flying. Yeah. I mean, you'll never get loads of some, but you do get the odd flower come from nowhere.
Yeah.
But predominantly winter flying and absolutely beautiful. Now, we've also got, don't forget, the peony collection. 3 peonies, totally winter hardy, bought as a bare root today for an amazing price of $9.99. And I'm not being funny, 1 peony in a pot in summer, you would be paying, I would say, $14.99.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And because peonies do command quite a high price point, they are very beautiful flowers. You know, they're very desirable. As cut flowers, they do command a high price, don't they?
Yeah, and they have a beautiful cut flower. It's become really on trend to have peonies as a cut flower. A lot of, say, florists are using it. But if you buy them as a bare root, you save a fortune. You may well get the odd flower in 2025, but year 2, year 3 and onwards, you'll get more and more every year. And that's what I love about buying a bare root. You see that journey. And I know with my peonies, first year, 1 or 2 flowers. Second year, I think I got maybe 6, 7.
Yeah.
Last year, I got dozens.
Wow.
So absolutely amazing. And you get a pink, you get a red, and you get the white as well.
Fantastic. Yep. Right, I think we might be going soon, but we do need to remind you about our fantastic rose deal that we've got. These are 2 of the favourites that we've kept out for you. There's the King Charles Coronation, which I adore. I think it's really beautiful, lovely ruffled. I would love that one. Yeah, absolutely. It would go in a pot because obviously I need to take it with me. But yeah, I love the colour, love the ruffled edges on here. What I really enjoy at YouGarden though is that we give you options, we give you choices, and you've got that with this deal. We've got 5 roses available, and you can buy 1, get 1 free as a bare root. Just pick the 2 you want, put them in your basket, enter the code, 1 of them will be free.
And if you want more roses, if you watch, say, Bex and I and Stu, we recorded 2 special shows yesterday, and they'll be playing out on our website and on YouTube from Boxing onwards. So when you've got a moment to yourselves when the grandkids have gone, and it's like, I had a lovely time, but it's my time now.
Peace and quiet.
Yeah, you can sit down, watch myself and Bex, and also all the questions that we've asked on today's show, we answer.
Yeah, we have answered those as well, so you can see our successes, our failures.
And can I just say, on the pre-recorded shows, you'll see how bad I am at the word games, but don't forget how good I was today on the numbers game.
I'm the words, you're the numbers.
Yes. Right, so we have got a show on Sunday.
We have. It's going to be me and Adam because Sean's doing pantomime. So this is the last live show for Sean of 2024. We will be both back in the new year, though, in 2025. And big happy birthday for you for tomorrow.
Thank you. I've got the big 40 tomorrow, so yeah.
You wish.
Yeah, I have. You believe me, don't you, at home? Big 40 tomorrow. I know what you're thinking. He's nowhere near 40. He's in his 30s still. Yes.
That's it. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. Right. Bex, it's been lovely on here.
It's been a gorgeous year. Thank you very much.
Oh.
Merry Christmas to all of you as well. I'll see you on Sunday, though. So.
Yes. And I'll see you in 2025.
Bye.